I used to be somebody before that freak Ayuz sent his army south and ruined everything. We had a nice racket going on in the land of the freelords, or what the rest of the Flaness calls the Bandit kingdoms. We had a territory we ran, and we hustled and stole what we could from who we could. Sure, we fought amongst ourselves, and I'd just as soon stick my dagger into someone from the freelords as anywhere else. But we always banded together when an outside force threatened all of our businesses. But all that changed when Ayuz came a-calling. Half of the freelords joined forces with Ayuz to save their skins, and the other half got wiped out or sent packing to the other lands, or down into the rift. I was no hero, and neither were any of my mates. So after the massacre of Steelbone Meadows, we did what any guys in our situation would have done. We hightailed it out of there. The only problem is that everywhere we went, there were old enemies waiting. After finally getting corralled by the Ernst soldiers, I was left to rot in a dungeon, waiting for them to decide what to do with me. The way the guards look at us, I don't think we're gonna like what it is they have in store.
Good ones.
Consensus?
Yeah,
And we're live, but we won't stop talking.
Well,
I mean,
hello,
we shouldn't
everybody.
stop talking, I suppose, but we should start talking about this.
About the look, you say I'm supposed to be I'm not supposed to be centered, right? You say it's more appealing to the eye when
I mean, I
somebody's not
say
centered.
that because if I fuck up the screen.
Oh,
But no, really, if I were filming a movie, I would I wouldn't have you centered. I'd have you off center.
that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it now. We'll see when
The
it
rule of
catches up.
thirds.
Oh, hey, by the way, everybody, welcome to Return to the
Oh
Bandit.
shit, we're live.
Hello.
Look at that.
Hello, welcome, and this is a very 22nd episode.
It is a very 20-second episode.
You can tell,
Ante dos.
yeah, you can tell that I watch some. I watch
Iron Schwanzbig.
because he says that all the time, so I'm like totally ripping him off.
Who was that you ripped off?
Adam Coble, he's another DM.
Yeah, I know who he is. I didn't really watch his stuff, but I like his hair.
Yes, he does have very nice hair. So anyway, hi everybody, and welcome to the 22nd episode of Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. Yeah, so your cast of players are ready, and we have the illustrious Adam back. I think that's the right way when it.
I pointed right, Jimmy. Look at this on top of your game tonight.
Yes. So
Yeah, and
don't
I am
do that,
I am
dude.
back
You're
in
totally
Command
fucking it up.
Central, aka my basement,
Right?
and out of the west coast of Florida.
Yeah, man. How'd the rest of that trip go?
It was a shit show.
Yeah, that we noticed.
The whole thing. It was
That's not good, man.
anyway.
It's not good.
The east coast of Florida, I love much better. No offense, west coast of Florida folks. We still love you, just not as much as everybody else in the country.
What he's trying to say is we love fans of R2BK in the west coast of Florida. If you're not a fan, then we really don't care.
Right. And even then,
And if you work for Best Western, right, we really don't care.
I gotta say, the service in the entire west coast of that state was starting with the Best Western and continuing. Nobody would take your order. And I understand that I'm from New York, so I like things done very quickly. And I have no patience whatsoever.
Is that a typical New Yorker thing?
I mean, maybe it's also just part of my nature, but
Okay.
no, New Yorkers don't like. We like things done immediately. That's why they call it a New York minute. It happens fast, right? A minute for New Yorkers is like a second, where for everybody else, a minute could take like 3 hours. Like I have family in Alabama.
Yeah.
At like 4:00 in the afternoon, they're still sitting in their pajamas. Like, oh, where did the day go? Like the day's been dragging. We've been sitting here all day. You're still in your goddamn pajamas.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. Well,
So anyway, this is
we've
my
made
therapy
a-
session, right? You guys are. Oh shit!
made a
I'm
switch.
sorry. I thought.
No, you're still there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just
Dr.
letting you get your
Abramowitz, I
anger
thought it
out.
was you.
See, everybody, it's not just Silverwolf that has the anger issues.
It's true. It's art imitating life.
Yeah.
It's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, Verona finally decided that she was tired of giving us numbers.
I don't
So,
blame her. That she did a lot though. That was a lot.
She did. It was very selfless of her, and we appreciate every bit of it. But I twisted her arm into giving us a word of the day, and then we'll get that word in multiple languages. And today's word
Now,
is
go ahead.
something that all of you should be very familiar with: bully.
Bully.
Okay. Bully. You know, sort of how you guys are treating Harchuck. Like that.
I'm not treating him poorly.
No, that's
No, you just sit by and watch it happen.
Well, you know.
That's true. Doing nothing is just as bad.
Right? It's an acceptance of it through your non-action.
That's fair.
So, to start off here, we have in Italian or Italian.
Yeah, talk about bullying. Now you're bullying an entire nation of people.
Totally. It's because I'm not a spaghetti fan. I love pasta, but I'm not a spaghetti fan. So in Italian, it's prepotenti. In Mongolian, it's di relk helk. I'm sure that's wrong.
That sounds cool, though. Like, I want to be a bully in
Hungarian.
Mongolia just because of how you say that.
You should. In Hungarian, okay, tirorzoi, because Hungarian's hard, but that's spot on. Tirorzoi.
Sure.
Yes.
I buy
You
it.
want to know how to say Merry Christmas in Hungarian? This I know for a fact.
I mean, we could probably hold off on this one for a couple months.
Oh, no doubt. Okay, cool. You're right. You're so right. See, that's what you.
Speaking of which, we also missed out on a golden opportunity to dress as our characters tonight, since tomorrow is Halloween.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
I don't
did
have
not-
any leather armor at home.
I have, no.
I have leather, but it's not armor.
We don't want
This
to know.
is where we learn
Yeah.
too much about.
I've got
Will.
pictures.
No,
You
we
guys
don't
know-
need to see them.
Nope.
That's a different stream altogether.
Right? Okay. So there you go. All right. So that is your edumacation, my dear folks, with the
I feel better for it.
you should. You should feel better for it
Yep.
because, that's the way that stuff works. Unfortunately, Adam, I cannot see chat. So just letting you know.
I'm taking a look at chat. Nobody's chatting.
Yet. Is my boy Lee Kim there? Lee, are you here?
Lee, if you're
You
here,
see?
give us a sign.
Give us a sign.
Blink twice.
something.
If you're being
Yeah,
held
blink.
against your will.
No.
Gosh, I've heard it. Oh, never mind. So, all right. So let's go ahead and we'll get rocking and rolling with the update. And let's see, where did we leave off? So,
Lord
after
Gasumba is here.
the who what?
Lord Gasumba is here in chat, chatting.
Hey,
The first
What's up,
chatter
Ray?
of the day. Welcome, Lord Gasumba. We were talking
Yes.
about you pre-stream, as a matter of fact.
we were. True story.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
not
ta-
bullshitting. Usually,
I was
I just
ta-
make shit up to make people feel good, so they like me. But in this case, that's not true. We were actually talking about you.
That's right. That's right. I was telling him about when I stopped in the.
But
other
I still
day.
desire your affection.
Yes. And for all those who are watching who don't know who Lord Gasumba is, he is, and I'll use this because I guess DM Shane was throwing this around the other day. It's like the Guinness Book World Record for the longest running Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So we don't know if that's true, but we like to say it anyway. So it's been 38 years, or or what have you. So longer than most people, if they tune in, have been alive. That's all right. So all right. So we're gonna go and let's get with the chat. Not the chat, the recap.
We're just going
what
to sit
ended
here
up-
and just read chat. So if you want your words to be spoken live here on twitch.tv.
Well, you know what? Lord Gasumba. You see, you got to say that with like proper.
Lord
sort of-
Gasumba.
Lord Gasumba. If Jay had seen the last episode, he would definitely have picked up on what I dropped. Because none of these guys here, I dropped a major hint, and this is the beauty of playing with people who don't know Greyhawk to the level of intimacy of other guys, like say like JR and myself. They don't know what it was, what I was referring to. So
So we are just going to talk to chat.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Of course you will.
That's what you're saying.
Okay, so what ended up happening was, go back just a little bit after the guys had decided they were cutting the ties with the Rook-Roostian deals, heading out across the Artansami River, going back into the heartlands of the Bandit Kingdoms. They had bedded down for the night. After, of course, the poor, innocent bard Harchuk was used as manual labor, and he was basically, what do you call those guys that hold down the balloons in the Macy's Day Parade? Are those
I don't know. Suckers.
they're what?
Coward. Oh, you're trying to
A
describe.
coward. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. he's-
I
Nice.
feel like the people who are holding those
Balloon wrangler?
balloons in New York at the end of November are anything but cowards.
Yeah.
They
I
could
would think-
they could take off at any moment. They're heroes.
I agree with Kate. I think they're anchors. I think that's the
Anchor
technical
sounds right. Anchor sound.
Anchor does sound right? Okay. So it had forced Harchuk to pull the ever floating now cleric of Nayrul Ash with them. And they traveled for a while through the dust and the early autumn heat out on the prairie lands of the interior of the kingdom, and then bedded down for the evening. And then that evening, was Silverwolf on first watch? Is that basically what it was? That
No, it was like
Second or
middle of the
third.
night. It was I think second or third. It was.
Yeah,
We were just having
I'd seen-
the.
I thought it was first watch because you started drinking at first watch, and it didn't happen
that could have
until
been
about
then. I don't
third
know. He
watch
would have
where
been
you didn't
drinking
wake anybody up
regardless.
to take your place because you'd been drinking the entire time. that what-
Well, yeah, I mean, he was on watch.
The
Yeah.
phrase is handlers,
Handlers. Thank you, Michael.
according to the New York Daily News.
So, basically, what happens is that Silverwolf had passed out, and then he woke up with a pain in his finger from that ring that he had acquired so long ago when they first entered into the Bandit Kingdoms and found that huge monstrosity in that smoking crater. I guess I should even say the night before that you guys had a run in with one of the great big shadowy beast man and his minions before that, and was he singled out Silverwolf, saying that there could be only one and that he'd be coming back for him, so forth and so on. So that night. That happened the day before, but this night, after they'd been marching all day, bedded down, Silverwolf woke up, and his as the liquor had comatose had worn off on him, and he had gone and gotten up and noticed that the zombie that Ash had put on watch was standing staring down at a darkness on the ground, and Silverwolf investigated. It was like a liquid shadowy pool that was on the ground there that wasn't transparent. What would you call when you could put you can pass through it? Yeah, well, it was
It was
basically
passed
the shadow.
through. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was anticipating what you were going to say, and I
That's
failed.
okay. That's all right.
Do better next time.
I'll
Yeah.
try. I make no
So-
promises.
Long story short, they were able to pass through this shadow down into a shaft, into a tunnel that led to some chambers that were down in there, and in there was, lo and behold, another gnome. And this little bald and shaved gnome was there and began speaking with. Did you see my first chat? So I just saw some of the chat. Yeah, it was
I shouldn't have
okay.
put that
I
up. I
hope
knew
you
it was
didn't get
gonna
to
just-
see the part where I wasn't talking. So
That
anyway,
was the best
so
part.
best part. Thank you. Appreciate that. I really do.
When I
So
could just sit there and watch your face undistracted by any noise or other movement, I'm happy.
Oh, it's like when you mute Baywatch.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sort of. It's like
That's
That
it's
is
a
the
pretty
perfect
face.
analogy.
Yeah, I appreciate. That's why I love you so much, Adam. But
Or slow
I'll
motion
keep
run.
that between us. So basically, after they make it down into this area, they go up and they run into this gnome, and this gnome starts hardcore selling Silverwolf, you got to give into the power of the ring. The ring will give you power. It'll give you the power to defeat and kill Ayus. It'll make you a demigod yourself. All you have to do is submit and accept. There was other stuff in other chambers. They didn't really get too far into them, but in one of the chambers, the adjoining one, was a mound of like old discarded adventuring gear, shields and weapons and armor and rope and backpack, all kinds of different chests, and then candles all over the floor, everywhere they could see. So while Silverwolf was going back and forth with this gnome and trying to get answers out of him, and the only reply he seemed to get was, if you give into the ring, you'll get the answer, blah, blah, blah. So Morgan, who is the better half of Raleigh, some would say, or vice versa, the worse half of Raleigh, depends how you look at it, blew out a candle
For
pretty
Raleigh.
pretty much almost at the same time as the zombie of ashes was sent over to inspect the pile. So it inspected the pile, and when the candle was blown out, from out of the pile were constructed these like figures made complete. They were like a collage of different things, like rope for head and backpack for one arm and a sword on another. And when that happened, then our boy Silverwolf agreed to allow the power within the ring to possess him. And possess him it did.
Real.
That's when shit got real. Because that's what happened is Silverwolf stopped being Silverwolf. He was completely possessed by whatever the power was that was within this ring. And the first order of business was trying to kill everyone else. He was successful, he thought, in killing Ash. He tried to kill Wyndon, but Wyndon, ever being fleet of foot and able to run very fast, ran away. And then
Classic
a tactical withdrawal, I think, is another term for it. And then also
Cowardice is
Morgan,
another.
after seeing Ash getting beaten to a smaller version of himself, decided to run away as well. Silverwolf gave chase after him, and fortunately, through keeping a distance between themselves, Morgan and Wyndon, they were able to down Silverwolf and kill him. And essentially, right when that happened, they all woke up instantly in their camp. And at the same time, they like somebody had thrown cold water in their face, and they look over and they see a groaning and moaning Silverwolf holding his hand, missing his finger and blood coming down it. And there standing next to him was was Harchuck, who had cut off the finger that had the ring on it, releasing
that
them
feels
all.
more like a Raleigh move.
Right? Releasing them all from the dream that who knows how much of that maybe would have come true or what would have happened. And then they proceeded to slap around Harchuck for saving them. And that's pretty much
as you do.
Yeah, as you do. I mean,
You really shouldn't travel with us.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can't be
It's
too
his own
nice to the
fault.
help because then they start to expect stuff, right? Isn't that how that works?
And Ash did pocket the finger.
Yes.
If he needs a
And-
spare
That's
finger,
right,
he's got
the
one.
finger. Oh, Jesus.
You have,
Oh, that's right.
You
You have the finger.
you have the ring as well, right? Michael?
Morgan's got
Morgan has
Somebody
the
else
ring.
took the ring. I just pocketed the finger.
Morgan.
Morgan has
okay.
the ring.
Morgan has the ring.
Yeah.
I have a body. I have two bodies. What's a finger?
So let me ask a
Exactly.
question, because this finger
Sure.
would be on the finger with the ring was on my left hand.
Yes, sir.
How hard is it going to be for me to shoot a bow?
It won't.
Okay.
I
I guess
still
if it
be
was
able
on
to-
my right hand, it would probably be a little more difficult.
Well, basically, where it'll come into
So it's like-
to
like
play is I
manual
might give you
dexterity,
disadvantage on something where that hand is being specifically used. Like, let's
To
say
sew
you were
a
hanging off
button.
of a cliff for your life. I might bring that into play at that point in time.
I only need one hand for that.
Yeah, but you can still function because it was your ring finger, right?
Right.
It was on your ring finger. You still got that stuff going on right there.
Yeah, okay.
So you're okay. And basically, when you're drawing a bow, you put it's in your hand. You're right here in your palm.
Yeah, and it would be,
So-
I guess, here. So
I think he
Yeah.
should get advantage in sleight of hand checks because he is now more slight.
That wasn't my
Well,
specialty
You
anyway.
can also give people a really weird handshake. I know someone who's actually missing that finger.
It would
and
be
go to shake
super
their
weird
hand,
because
they,
it would be with my left hand.
just
And,
So
and
it
I
would
will
already
say- I will
already be uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I will say this before we get any further. It looks like I only have Ash and Silverwolf in the roll 20.
Oh, really? Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me
Just-
check
I mean, you guys do want to roll, right?
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
there.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
there-
being here.
I'm
It
there.
didn't load up for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm
One sec.
under Ash.
There's even Jerish.
See, my problem was I never left last week, so I just opened it up and the page looked normal until I tried to refresh. and
Right.
apparently I'd been logged out the whole time.
Excellent.
You
I have like 25,000 hours on Roll20, and
I know that's the thing that's so misleading because I remember when I first started on Roll20 and I was looking around for different people to play. I was like, "Wow, this guy must know what he's doing. Look at all this time he's got logged
He just
in."
forgets
You
to.
know, no, and it was like
exit
some
out.
15 or 12-year-old kid that just left it on all the
Yeah.
time, and he's like, "Hey, man, let's go and kill some unicorns and leprechauns. That'll be great."
I mean that will be great.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
You know,
Another question.
true story.
Since we were fighting
story.
in a dream,
yes.
did I lose the 6 arrows that I shot?
No.
Good, because
No,
that's
'cause-
all I had.
So true. Oh, so true. So yeah. So basically, that's what happened. Is that whole thing was a concoction, and this is something that Morgan had, I'll say, theorized and expressed to you guys. Was basically that it was the ring's attempt to get you to accept it. To accept the ring and thus the power within, which you started to you see what was going to happen. So that's where we start off with. You guys are there. You're in your camp. You've just woken up. Silverwolf's holding his bloody stump, and you guys are threatening Harchuk, who threw the
I would have
threw the
cure
finger to the
wounds
ground.
myself enough to at least get the stump to stop bleeding
Okay. Yeah.
before going
Okay,
to bed.
that's fine.
So I don't. It would be bad enough to die at the hands of Morgan and Wyndon. It's even worse to die from blood loss just from.
Yeah, and not doing anything about it. That is
Yeah.
that would be terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so what are you guys doing then?
Well, I mean, I remember Silverwolf had kind of wandered off to meditate on his own.
Yeah.
Yes, that is
and
what
I
he
went
did.
back to sleep.
Yep.
So I figured I'm just waiting for the morning.
Gotcha.
I would have stayed out away from camp as well that night.
Yeah. You're the brooding type, strong
It's
and
been that's
silent.
been my thing from the beginning, so only more so
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So is that it? Basically, guys.
I'm
are
the
just gonna-
Luke Perry of the of the group.
Oh God. Who's Shannon Doherty?
That's you.
I'm not Shannon Doherty. We didn't.
No, you're the owner of
I'm
the
only
Peach Pit.
I'm the guy who owned the diner.
That's what
whatever
I.
that-
Yeah, I was. See, this is why we're right on the same page again. Maybe
There you go.
we're best friends, and Kate is on the outs.
There you go.
It's a volatile position, Adam's best friend.
It is. Yeah,
Right?
they don't last
It is.
long. I'm very.
They
finicky.
don't.
High turnover rate.
It really is.
Yes, a little bit. Okay, so all right, so you guys just gonna
I'm gonna bed down and go back to sleep like nothing
Yeah, that's what
happened.
I'm doing too.
Okay, all right, excellent.
Yep.
What's Morgan doing?
He'll keep watch.
Okay, yeah.
I of course
'Cause
have
you
my
were
zombie watching, but yeah.
Morgan was able to get his trance state in. The only thing I'm gonna say with that, because you're like living between two different worlds. Because how long is the trance state? It's just a couple hours, right? 2.
I think it's
4
4
hours.
for
It's
elves.
4.
So he needs like half the rest.
Okay,
For
so
a high elf, it's 4.
it's 4. Okay, so what we're gonna say is it's 5, because technically you see what I'm saying? Because you're like
Yeah.
two and 1. What was that commercial? The gum commercial.
Double mint gum. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like double mint gum.
Supplement
in
Gum
one.
had the twins.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure.
think they rebranded themselves. The Twins was a long time ago. I remember some.
Yeah, you guys keep forgetting just because he's got facial hair. Jarris is still a youngin. You know.
I remember the Twins. I was like 8 years old, but I
See?
remember them.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the statement of the great men. W pleasure.
Why I
W
chew
fun.
gum? Because
Yeah.
of the twins.
Right. Okay. So you guys all just
Yeah.
knock out.
Yeah.
Morgan does the watch for the rest of the evening.
He would cast Identify on the ring. I've already done
did
it
that
once, but
already.
it was on
Right.
Wolf's hand at the time. I don't
Yeah.
anticipate gleaning anything different, but now that he's actually had some time to hold it, he would.
You
just
know
give
what?
a
You
little-
might though.
Sure.
Because basically when you do it the first time, because remember the reason it's not working like a traditional Identify where, oh, this is a ring of protection +1, because it's not working. It's not working like that is because of it's essentially it's an artifact.
No, speaking
Right,
of
right.
which, my armor class
So that
is
magic is
one less than it was before.
interferes with the spell to an extent. So you glean some information from it, but it could be a little cryptic or a little broken. So if you had something like specific that you were trying to
I
maybe
see.
glean now and cast it again, there's a distinct possibility that you might learn some more information.
Okay.
I mean, there was a bunch of information you guys could have gleaned, but Silverwolf, because he's such a grump, decided not to write anything down in his dream journal. Just moved on.
right.
And you set up alarm. Don't forget that too.
That's
well,
nice.
no, that was in the dream, so that didn't happen.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, I didn't set up alarm. Morgan, now that because he went to bed Raleigh, and
Right.
but now that he's got the reins, that would be part of his routine. Is anytime he's watch, cast alarm, and then after sit down and just kind of think on the ring and try to. I guess like it's clear to him that this is connected to something else, so he would be trying to figure out whether the power of the ring truly is within the ring or if it's what it's tied to, because it
Okay.
seems like it's not just an entity in itself.
And you actually, now that you've had some sort of a connection or to whatever this was through the dream itself, even
Sure.
because the dream brought your guys' subconscious into play there. Basically, it's both. There is an essence in the ring that is itself sentient. But that sentient energy is connected to something else, and you definitely feel that connection bridges the planes, bridges out of the prime material into other worlds. You can't specifically figure out what it is, but you definitely get that out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Sweet.
So the rest of the night goes fine. You guys really don't have any problems. The zombie just is kind of like chilling. Now you have to reconstruct that every morning, right, Michael? Your zombie?
Every 24 hours.
It's 6.5
Every 24
hours.
Yeah. Well, this one's was this the Salus zombie or was
No,
this? I mean, because
no,
you got
this
two
was-
zombies.
This
You
is
got
No, I
two
just-
gnomes.
I
Just
feel like we
cast
lost the
this
Salad
as we
zombie.
went to bed, so
Yeah. This
he's
is
got
this
lots
is
of hours ahead of him.
Okay. So everything goes by fine. It gets cold in the night as it does out on the plains, especially with it being it's early autumn. So as soon as that sun goes down, it gets really cold. So that night, you guys were, when you woke up, you like plumage of steam from your breath and what have you. But you guys still kept a cold camp, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think we come up with
No,
something.
we,
but-
Oh no, that's right.
Oh, that's
We-
right. We
we
had
built
the
the
underground
fire
smoke
in-
thing. Yeah,
into
yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
Due to,
I'm nowhere near that, so I've been cold all night.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable, but it's borderline. It's not enough to interfere with your rest, to the point where you'd get exhaustion from it, but you're it's enough that it made your rest uncomfortable. You are sore in the morning, Silverwolf. Okay, you guys not nearly as stiff and sore as Silverwolf is because of the fire you were able to keep going. But and I didn't think about this before, but we'll keep this in mind going forward from this night on. You guys are out on the prairie right now, so what are you going to use for fuel?
Oh, like for fires?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Is
Right.
the grass
Okay.
dry?
Yep.
You could
You-
twist.
There it is.
Take
I was hoping for this.
ounce
Give it
of
to me,
grass,
Michael.
twist it up good. Do the old Laura Ingalls Wilder thing.
Write a
Little house
book.
prairie.
Remind me, Michael, if ever I'm going to go camping, I need to bring you.
My
Especially
idea,
like I go up into the Rockies, man. I don't want to get lost up there without a Michael. You know what I'm saying?
I have to say, my idea of roughing it is going to a beach
Well, you
where they
bring one
don't
of these
serve
with
cocktails.
you. It's called a compass.
What type of magic is that, sir? You mean your type of idea of roughing it, Adam?
It's going
is
to a beach
Best
where they
Western,
do not serve cocktails.
right? All right. So the
One of
next
these
day.
compasses. You need a compass to start.
Oh, see, oh, he's geeking out on compass stuff. Quick, somebody talk about Star Trek. Ooh, that looks Nancy right there. Okay, so the dawn starts to crack, the sky starts to lighten, and you gentlemen start to get up and get ready for your next day, your next outing. Harchuck is there. He is been sleeping closer to Wyndon than anybody else.
I think he
Oh,
likes
let me
you.
meet a friend.
So you guys are going about your daily morning routines of getting everything together, getting your things stowed and ready for traveling out onto the prairie some more. Continuing on I take it you guys are still going to Kinemeet?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Seems like
So,
there may be at least some
basically-
leads to all this bullshit that's been happening to us lately.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, you guys can see the map there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
See
you've
giant
got
ash lording over the plains.
That's because he's so much higher up.
I was going to
He's
say
closer.
exactly. Yeah.
He's just closer. It's
yeah,
all for-
he's closer to the audience is what it is. Oh, I guess I can get rid of that. That's Three Toes.
Oh.
Three toes.
Don't worry, you guys might see him again.
Oh, good.
I smashed him into putty. There's not much left of him.
Yeah. Okay, so essentially what I'm going to say is from that day, you've made it about halfway because you guys made it across the river and then you're about here. You're about a day and a half of steady movement outside of Kinemeet. As you're moving further and further along, in the very distance, you start to see more of the. Yes, Michael, you are correct.
If
Sorry,
only
guys.
the rest of us knew their secret.
You start to see some of the haze and a little bit of a kind of a slope and elevation towards where the tangles is going to be. The prairie that you guys had been on is starting to be dotted by small copses of trees, some gnarled bunches of bushes, and what have you. Now, I take it, of course, Silverwolf is leading the way, correct?
Yeah, and I'm probably just since it's the plains, and I don't think they're going to lose me. I'm probably a good 20 feet ahead of them.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, again, too, you can see for far distances in most directions, but it does change because the plain itself is not, the prairie itself is not tabletop.
Mhm.
It has ups and downs to it. So as you guys start to
I'm
crest,
floating.
yes, as you are. Is Harchuck your handler again? Is he being
course.
forced?
Yes,
Okay,
of
all
course.
right, just double check. Okay, so you guys are going along, and you start to get to a rise on one of these slight hills, and you see dust in the distance, but it's not in front of you, and it's not where you'd seen that dust before. Because remember, I'd said you had seen a couple of dust columns in the far distance when you first were traveling. Actually, that would probably been way too far away for you guys to even see. But you saw some dust. Well, no, because they have to kind of cut up that way to go towards that crossing towards where they would go to Rip Roost. This one is coming from behind you. And it looks as when you get to the top of that hill there, Silverwolf, and anybody else can stop there and give me a perception check. Michael, how far up is the Macy's Day Ash Parade balloon?
Oh, about 10 feet, I suppose. I don't want to be super high in the air.
Double
Okay,
I
so
don't
you're
want
not-
to like be
I don't
a
know.
beacon.
I don't know
Gotcha.
why I
Okay.
have advantage on
So
still, but it's
I would send
20.
my bat.
What's your favorite terrain?
my favorite terrain is forest.
Okay, what level do you get your second one?
I don't know.
Somebody quick.
It's
Give
not
Dr.
5,
Ranger
which
knowledge
is where
on
I
me.
am. It might be
a second.
6, but I didn't go 6. I went barbarian. So
Oh, that's right. That's right. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're gonna say
yeah, I don't
that's
have
right.
an
Okay.
extra. I don't have an extra favorite terrain. I just have the one.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All
I'm
right.
not really paying attention, by the way. I'm just kind of kicked back, enjoying the sun.
He's
Right.
just floating on his back with his hands behind his head.
Yeah.
He's up there to run, jump. You know,
It would have
singing
been
to
level
himself.
6, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what. But I'd forgotten you went barbarian. Okay, so Silverwolf not a problem. An old eagle. What was it? Wasn't that Eagle Eye was your nickname?
Eagle Eye.
No, it was Deadeye.
Deadeye.
Right.
me, yes, Deadeye
Yeah,
was the
Deadeye.
nickname I had.
Yeah.
My nickname
And-
is Silverwolf.
yes. No. Either. So you guys make it to the top there, and essentially, Wyndon, you notice that Silverwolf had caught sight of something. You turn around, and you're looking, and there's definitely you guys are squinting, looking in the distance. Oh yeah, there's horsemen coming, and it's a good group worth of horsemen. You're looking at at least. Let's put it this way: there's more than 20 of them.
And there's no cover, right?
I was gonna
No,
say,
you
yeah.
guys are out in the prairie.
Yeah, so I just turn around, pull out the maul. I don't say anything. I've been quiet this whole time, and I just walk like through the group toward the horsemen with the maul out.
How far away would they think they are from us right now?
Well, if you guys hurry up and get off of the rise, they might not have seen you yet.
Yeah, okay, I will definitely do that.
Is
Yeah,
someone
and
going to
Silverwolf,
stop me then?
If someone tells me, I'll drop to the ground. Yeah.
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 We'll say horseman coming. We
Well,
need to try to get out of the way.
you rolled enough to notice that. Well, no, you didn't. You were
No.
just. I don't know what you're doing.
Someone needs to tell me, or I'm
Yeah.
not gonna care.
Yeah.
Just start pulling him
Get
down.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
They
walking
keep pulling
toward
you.
them.
You just climb the rope up to me, and they
But
keep
I've got a
pulling me
good
down,
20
but-
feet in between us, but I'm walking toward the
I'm trying
horsemen.
to do. I mean, there's not a lot of opportunity. I'm trying to take whatever cover I can.
Well, you guys could lay down. I mean, that's
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
get
you
off.
play in the tall grass.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
off the road and try to get hit.
There's
yeah.
nobody out there mowing the lawn, so there's
no,
nice tall
exactly.
grass.
Yeah.
Morgan is going to run up
And get
next to
ticks? No,
Silverwolf,
thank you.
and he just starts walking next to him, and he goes, "So, what are we doing?"
Horsemen coming, quite a few of them.
Maybe.
Okay, that's me hiding off the road.
Yeah. So at that, Morgan would look back
Right.
and see Wyndon hiding, and is Ash coming down?
Yeah,
Yes.
as soon as someone told me, I dropped to the ground and take up a fighting position.
So it's this seems like it might be a fight
So-
we can avoid.
Wyndon, in typical Wyndon fashion, goes running, finds a nice spot of high grass, and then hides.
The safest fights are when you don't have to fight.
Man, I'm right there with you, brother. You're not going to hear me say anything. Silverwolf, he's kind of a dick. He'd probably say something.
I'm thinking it. I'm not
You're
saying
right,
it.
right. Okay, so there you go. So all right. So what are the rest of you going to do? Are you going to wait? I need declarations from everyone now that I need to know specifically what you guys are doing.
Morgan is waiting
Hiding
to
in the
see,
tall grass.
as Silverwolf
I'm
does.
continuing to walk toward them.
Okay.
So Morgan's gonna walk alongside him. He keeps throwing looks back at Silverwolf and Ash, and kind of looking forward, and like not really thinking this is a great idea.
Oh, that's what I wanted. Sorry, everybody. That's all that.
Nobody saw anything.
I also have
No,
heart
but
shock
everybody
from-
who's
and,
watching saw that pop up there and get in the way of your.
Oh yeah, we would have tried to get hard
We
check.
didn't see it.
yeah,
out of the
heart
way,
shock
too.
is with Wyndon and I,
Okay. Yeah, he's there. He's laying down.
or me.
And then I talked to him about, listen, Hardchuck, I know you might think this is a good opportunity to escape from us, but these guys could be way worse than we are. So just play it cool and quiet.
And there's a rope tied around you.
I have to say, sir, that I was not born tonight, and definitely not last night. And of course, I know that that could be a band of marauding orcs out there, for all I know.
Oh, I
Exactly.
hope so. I really hope they are.
Okay. Okay, so Ash is in the grass, Wyndon is in the grass, Harchuck's in the grass. What about Morgan and Silverwolf?
I'm walking toward the horses.
Okay, so he's and then
So as he's going, Morgan is he's looking around. He's kind of uneasy, and then he puts his hand on Silverwolf's shoulder so he can kind of walk and guide him, and then he's diverting his senses to his bat. He's gonna have fly forward and up at like a 45-degree angle, 50 feet. So he's got a good vantage of the horseman and try to get a good look at him. Are these orcs? Are they IUs? Are they Tritherian?
right.
Paladin? What are we dealing with?
Okay, so basically what's going to end up happening here is that you guys are going to allow them visual of you so that you can discern what these riders are. Because by the time that the dust and cloud that is around them and they get close enough to take focus, they're definitely close enough to see you, especially a pissed off Silverwolf holding his maul over one shoulder like some kind of like bruiser baseball kind of dude. So, okay. So as you guys are watching and they come closer and closer into view, you definitely start to pick out details that's letting you know, one, they're not orcs.
Darn.
Because you're starting to notice that the type of armor that they're wearing, that some of the horses that are galloping with them, they have barding and just little hints. Because like orcs don't bother to armor up their horses, even if they're bothering to ride horses. You know what I'm saying? And as they get closer, they almost have the look of knights about them, but not like the knight in the sense that they're all dressed in plate, but they have like have chain on and like leather guards. Most have full helms or have a full helm, but with like the open face. These look like rough and tumble warrior types. Go ahead and give me history checks, all of you guys.
Even
Well,
us
let
in the
me, ask
grass.
you, let me ask you this. Yeah, even you guys in the grass, because these are guys are starting to. I'm assuming you're peaking.
Yeah.
Not enough to be like, not a gopher, but so let me ask you guys this. So basically, heraldry. I'm assuming. I'm going with history.
Yeah,
check.
Herald, we would definitely, I think, fall under history.
Yeah.
Okay.
for sure.
All right. Okay, so let's see who got what here. Ash, you definitely know. Raleigh, you're a native, but this is Morgan, correct?
Yep.
So Morgan, that's a no. Silverwolf is yes. Wyndon is yes. Okay, and you see that for one, they have a flag. That is, there's a couple of banners that are with these guys, and then you notice that quite a few of them have shields, kite shields, and there is a coat of arms on this kite shield. It is a split image of two colors, white on top, yellow on the bottom, with a black morning star right in the center of it. It is the heraldry of Jurhas.
Oh boy.
What do we know about them again?
Now, okay, I will dispense with the history lesson. Jurhas is Kinemeet used to be
right.
capital of Jurhas, the kingdom that was within the Bandit Kingdoms.
The first people we ran into with the Svarts, they were former Jorhasians, weren't they?
Those are guys that were allies with the Jurhasians. That was the Dimri guys.
Dimri, that's right.
And those are the only guys that are technically still they're free and clear of any Iusian influence right now is the Dimri guys. The Jorhasians allied with the Dimri dudes, but the Jorhasians were smashed on the battlefield and were routed, and then they took all of their land. You know that the Jurhasians since then have been broken up and turned into their bands of mercenaries. The Jurhasians used to hire themselves out as mercenaries anyway before even Ayus came in. They're well renowned for that, and they're also well renowned for never fighting amongst each other.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there any? And I lost Steve's picture, but hopefully we can still hear Steve.
I'm here.
Okay, good. Is there any alliance or at least goodwill between the Jurhasians and Halorn and Baron Reynard?
Completely indifferent.
Okay.
Yeah, they were too far away from each other. Had Baron Reynard ever mixed it up with them? Yeah. And the reason for that is because Jurhasians saw action all over the Bandit Kingdom. This is even before Ayuz even was in the picture. Because, let's say, your boy Renaud was like, hey, man, I want to go up and fuck with the guys up at Wormhall. Hey, why don't we hire some Jurhasians when we go up there to do that? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they saw action throughout the Bandit Kingdoms. So it is, that's why it's pretty well known. Now, essentially, Morgan, you know only one thing, and that is that Jurhasians are good mercenaries.
Okay.
And then they were destroyed by Ayus, supposedly.
Okay.
That's what you know. Because as we remember where Morgan's roots are from, which nobody has bothered to find out from you by having a conversation, ask you for some coffee, nosh a little bit, talk,
Coffee talk.
Yeah, a little coffee talk. That hasn't happened. So, okay. So they've seen Silverwolf. They've seen Morgan, and they beat it right to you. They don't speed up, but you can definitely see that they kind of veer ever so slightly from wherever they were riding to. They saw and they veer and they come up, and the horses stop within about 20 paces from where you two are, and then the cloud of dust that had been trailing them, blowing on the breeze slightly from behind, catches up to them and then blows across you and then past and then eventually settles. And as it settles, it comes into view the men before you. These are rough and tumble men, But these are not like, it's not the type you would say like, oh, these are the types of dudes you would see hanging out and working for an evil emperor. No, these are, think of your, if you're familiar at all with medieval warriors and medieval mercenary companies, these are professional soldiers. Okay, well armored, well armed and armored. And there's one guy that is in the lead. Obviously, he is a big dude. He's at least 6'6", 6'7". You're guessing, even though he's mounted, you're thinking that he's going to be a tall guy, broad as all fucking get out. He's got a full helm on, but it is open faced, and he's got a long mustache, and it kind of combines into a long beard that is intertwined and braided. He stops and looks at you and goes, "What do we have here? Some people lost out in the wilds."
I pull out my the symbol of Reynard, and my credentials as a scout, and I say, "We were part of Reynard's army. We lost most of our battalion in the fight against Ayus." And I say that,
Yes.
and I look at him specifically when I say that, because I know he wasn't there. And I say, we're headed to Kinemeet.
Yeah, you're talking about the massacre at okay, something field, Morning Glory, or some kind of bullshit. I can't remember the name of it.
I was going to throw out there that my zombie is also hiding with us.
I assumed that, but
I forgot about him. But yeah, he's hiding with us.
Yeah, he's laying there. They might smell him before they see him. I'll just throw that out there. So, yeah, for whatever. I'm not going to be bothered to look it up right now. But it's the
It's actually in the opening credits.
I know, right?
I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, if anybody's out there and watch the opening credits, let us know. Type it in chat. I'm not going to be bothered to look it up because
Steelbone Meadow. Steelbone Meadow. Is that it?
Yeah.
Steelbone Meadow.
Yeah.
There it is.
Steel was in there somewhere.
Yeah. And of course, no. And you want to know why the Jarhassians weren't there? Because the Jarhassians don't bother with that bullshit, you fucking rabble. They're mercenaries. They get hired to do their work.
Yeah.
They don't go and...
I'm judging him silently.
He had hired Karen.
Yeah. So anyway, he goes, "Yes, well, Reynard, like so many of the other lesser nobles, was dealt a severe blow by Ayus, but even nobles like myself and Jorhas itself succumbed to it. I'm sorry for the loss of your lord and your kingdom, but you do realize that happened years ago, right?" And
yeah,
it is. It's pushing
there.
2 years since it's pushing 2 years since that happened.
Yep.
If Lord Gasumba's on, he'll be able to tell us specifically what year it is because he's an encyclopedia kind of guy like that.
Say, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My name, I am Lord Calvert.
I'm sorry, Lord what? Jarvis is making a lot of noise.
Lord Calvert.
Lord Calvert.
Yep, Lord Calvert. That's what he says. I am Lord Calvert.
Would I have heard of him or not at all?
Sure, go ahead and give me give me history rolls. Anybody who's a native of the Bandit Kingdoms can give me a roll. Morgan will not, though.
Sure.
He's not
great.
connected.
Yeah, I'm
enough.
pretty sheltered. I do not play with this.
I'm just not great
idiot.
at history.
Yeah, you're not familiar with who he was. You guys basically, Wyndon's kind of like Lord Calvert. Yeah, like he was one of their like generals, or that's basically what you're thinking, sort of thing. Sure. The guy who was the king, he was killed, of course. So he's done and gone. So
Well, yeah, I figured he wasn't him, but
So, are you fine, sturdy men looking for work? I'm always looking for a couple of hardbacks to press into the gang, so to speak.
Well, as it were, yeah.
Ash, go ahead and give me a perception roll as well as Wyndon.
Oh boy. All right.
I'm sure it's fine.
Everything's fine.
Fuck you, Ash.
Oh, Wyndon,
Fuck you,
another
Wyndon.
natural 20 on perception. Nothing
like,
gets
hey,
by
look,
Wyndon. Nothing.
All right, cool. Sorry. So what ends up happening here is like you guys are watching this going down, and then you hear, and you look, and when you guys like look back to where you're going, you see Harchuck with that dagger that he cut off Silverwolf's finger with, and he's cutting the rope.
Okay. I'm gonna
And he
take
like
that-
stops.
I'm gonna take that
Like,
dagger from him.
Point at
As
the
you-
zombie and point at him, and
You take the dagger from him. As you take the dagger, he goes, "Help me! Help me! I need help! Help! I need help! These men have taken me
What
away!" And
he's a
he
fucking
jumps up
half
and
orc,
he's like
man. Why?
trying to get the rope off of him.
He's a half orc on the way to Kinemeet that's a prisoner. This guy deserves to die.
Very true.
You guys are so mean. Okay,
We're
so
bullies. Can you say that in Hungarian for us?
And by the way, Calvert's riding with 30 deep.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
got
not
30
gonna.
guys.
I have no problem with him.
Well, I'm just letting you know what's sitting in front of you, all mounted. So
let's start talking fast. I'll actually stand up at that moment then, and
okay,
kind of just yell out, "My prisoner!"
I'm no prisoner.
trying
I'm no such thing. These
escape.
ruffians that accosted me outside of Rook Roost and took me
You can
prisoner
say
because
we have him tied up. We have a guard on him.
there's no such thing. He's a liar, sir.
Stand
Lie.
up.
Hi, Chuck. What are you hoping to achieve here, buddy? Like, what do you
What
think
do you
you're gonna
mean
get
I'm
at?
hoping to achieve here? That man right there, I'm sure will employ me toot sweet and take me away from being a what was it again, Michael? What are the guys that pull the blimps?
Handler.
And keep me from having to be a handler and have to pull this.
You know what?
Out of context, that sounds weird.
You know what,
Handler?
Chuck? You know
Is
what,
it-
buddy? You're fine. You know what? Why don't you go and see if he'll hire you on? Let's see what he says.
I say to Lord Calvert, I say, my lord.
Okay, he unties the rope from around him and he goes walking over there. Go ahead, you can
Yeah,
say
I
what
say I apologize for the inconvenience. This was a man that we had met when we infiltrated.
Lies.
What
I'll tell you
Jarhas? Is that what
exactly
is that what
happened.
Kinemeet was called originally? What was Kinemeet originally called?
It was
Jorhas.
Kinemeet.
It was still Kinemeet.
It's always been Kinemeet.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
the
I
name
got
hasn't
confused
changed.
with that part.
Wait, I thought Kinemeet was Jorhas.
Jorhas is the kingdom in which Kinemeet is.
Got it.
Jorhas, the kingdom, does not exist anymore.
Right.
Right.
But Kinemeet, the city, is because
Yeah.
they took it.
I said this was-
this whole time I thought Kinemeet was like
Me
Jorhas
too,
was a
yeah.
city that fell and then it was renamed.
Oh
Kinemeet.
no, it's the
Yeah,
reverse
it's like
of how
the
you.
country, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I say this is this half orc, and I stress that.
Yes, sir. I am a half orc.
I
and
say
I'm
shut
right
the
proud of my
fuck
lineage.
up.
We had to take him prisoner for cowardice.
Honestly, we were just trying to have. He has connections in the city. We were gonna try to get back in Kinemeet using him, but yeah.
I said, by the way, do you have any interest in reclaiming your city?
Just throwing that out.
So
there.
Calvert's he crosses his arms and is looking at you guys. Well, yes, because I can see. Wait, I was about to have him start talking like Harchuck.
God damn, this whole area here, they all talk like that. It's,
I know, right?
It's their
It's the
accent.
local dialect. He's like, I can see that you men, all four of you, will be all we need to take back our lands. Exactly. Now, you, half-orc, spill it. Tell me something that will convince me not to run you through. He goes, well, of course, sir. I'd be delighted to do it. You see, I, sir, have been working with the Ernstian infiltrators. I used to run a cell out of Kinemeet itself, my sir. That's where I met these individuals at first, and then I thought I was being freed by them outside of Rook Roost, when then they turned me into nothing but slave labor and had my man Penholt killed by throwing him into combat willy-nilly. I tell you what, sir, and if to prove to you what I'm saying, and he like reaches into his clothes, and you see like he like turns out his jacket and goes into like the seam, and he pulls out a real thin scroll case, you know. And goes, I will present this to you, sir, as validation of my credentials and who I say I am. And so Calvert's like sitting on his horse. He looks at him, handing it over to him, and he looks at the guy that's to the right of him, and he goes, and so the guy goes, hey, ugly, give it to me. And so he takes it, unrolls it, looks at it. He's reading for a little bit. As he's doing that, Calvert's looking you guys up and down. It's like he's sizing everybody up as he goes through.
I just look at him, stare at him,
and then
right in the eyes the whole time.
The guy who,
Okay, I'd like to try to get Ash to make sure that the zombie is still hidden, if at all possible, because I have a feeling.
Oh, the zombie stood up with everybody else.
Yeah, the zombie did stand up. So.
Yeah, it's just like
hands up in the air.
Yeah, you know what? It might be threatening if it didn't happen to be a gnome zombie, because it's kind of like scary cute. I don't know if that's a thing. So, okay,
I'm already eyeing these guys up, picking out a better zombie. So.
Right? It's like, if that one dies, I hope that one dies, because I would definitely.
That would make a good zombie over there. I would get my measuring tape out. Yeah,
right.
One over here.
Okay, so then that guy reads it. Then after he reads it, he like leans over and he goes, "Looks legit," and he hands it to Calvert. Calvert takes it and he reads it and he goes, "Huh. Well, I'll be in a monkey's uncle." He rolls it up. All right, you got free passage with us for now. Somebody find this guy somebody he can double up with and get him in there. Harchuck stops at that point in time, turns real slow to you guys. Well, gentlemen, I guess when I give my reports, I will be sure to tell them how well you treated me.
I punch him in the face before he finishes that
sentence.
He's
far away from you. You can chase him, though.
Nah.
You start running after him?
No.
Because he didn't, like, come stand next to you. He's way too smart for that. He went and, like, stood down on the farther end of the line and is, like, looking and yelling down at Calvert.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll find him again and punch him in the face and sometime in the future.
I mean, you could even sneak up and kill him in the night if you wanted to.
I don't want to kill him. I just want to punch him in the face.
I'll look at him and go, I don't blame you. Do your thing, man.
Wyndon, when I give my reports, I will make sure to say that you were the only one that did not mistreat me. But I will also make sure to put into my reports, you are the only one that did nothing while not trying to mistreat me. But I guess it's to be expected. Y'all but nothing but a bunch of brigands and bandits from the Bandit Kingdoms. To be expected.
That's what they tell us.
You guys heard that? He's going to tell his dad on us.
Uh-oh.
And it's Raleigh.
Right? No doubt. While this is all going down and everything's happening, because Morgan was standing right next to Silverwolf. So as this is going on, you see Morgan like undo his coat, take it off, reach in, he pulls the arms out, he puts the coat back on, button, and so the gray that had been showing is now the multicolored coat, and then he like messes his hair up, and and it's like the transformation is complete, and it is Raleigh once more. So
and that ghost reappears.
Yes, correct. Harchuck is taken by one of the mercenaries that had dismounted, and he's led into the back because these horsemen have kind of started milling around a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Bye, Harchuck. Have fun.
Goodbye, confusing man.
That was a sweet moment, really.
I'll address Lord Calvert. So, excuse me, Lord Calvert. Were you heading towards Kinemeet as well, or were you going somewhere else?
Not at all. my men and myself, obviously you're a part of the Ernst resistance of some sort, and it's no
They
secret.
took our souls and told us we have to do what they tell us to.
Really?
I'm just a cleric of St. Cuthbert who met these four poor unfortunates, and I'm trying to help them, guide them back.
St. Cuthbert, indeed. And let me guess, that is your altar boy hand right there behind you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
He's had a rough night.
No. My men and I come up through Dimmery all the time to patrol the areas around Kinemeet and waylay any orcs or other Iusians that we come in contact with.
And you say you're hiring.
Of course we are. I'm always hiring for men to take up the banner of Jorhas. You would have to go through the ritual. You would have to go through the training, of course. But if you wanted to join the ranks, we will retake our lands one day. We will. I have
we're heading there
assurance
now.
from Lord Malvin that now when he drops that name, if you guys want, you can history roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna Malvin.
Not a clue. He's not very important to me. He never visited the
Lord Malvin and Lord Reminal.
No, I've never heard of him at all.
Soon we will be putting our forces together and retaking our land. We won't be associating at all with that Zen Criddle or his lady Dana Orlees. Ha! They call themselves Jorhasians. They're not Jorhasians at all.
Okay. I never said they were.
Very well.
Right. Well.
So what are you doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
We were heading towards Kinemeet. We hoped to get in, cause some trouble, and then make our way down south.
Indeed.
Yes.
What kind of trouble were you looking to cause?
Well,
I was looking to kill orcs.
Hamper Ius, really. Our thoughts were along the line of disrupting their labor market there.
Really? He at the sound of that, he takes he swings his one leg over the horn of his saddle, and he hooks it around and turns almost side saddle, and he puts his elbow down on his knee, and he goes, "I am intrigued. Tell me more."
Well, I mean, I'm not. One of the reasons we had Harchek with us is because he's a lot more familiar with the city, but I've heard it's kind of one of their hubs for their slave labor.
Oh, Lord Calvert, I am.
And so we haven't ironed out a lot of details, but I was hoping we could disrupt their market down there, maybe cut off their supply chain of labor and cause them some trouble.
This is an opportune time. Yes, or
I'm just spitballing here, because Wyndon, he's our wizard.
Not a wizard.
What if we could enchant all their socks to constantly feel cold and wet?
Can I punch?
Just do that.
I go to punch Raleigh and I stop. I don't.
See, this is why he's my favorite.
No.
He comes up with the best idea.
Warfare, all right. You give a bunch of orcs cold, wet, unexplainable feet for 3 months, and they will kill each other, guaranteed.
Yep.
Well, I did have. I was intrigued, but now I'm starting to question something.
No, I don't blame you. I question everything every day.
Well, this is a very opportune time for such an undertaking. A great number of the orcs have left.
That's one of the reasons.
Left with a skeleton crew, overlooking all those delicious slaves that just need to be sprung.
Right. And besides the 4 of us, I noticed 30 of you.
I know.
They're about even then, right?
30 of the.
All right, that's not what I meant exactly.
Cold feet, and now he says that.
He's the comedian of the group.
Yes, I've noticed that. Quite. No, unfortunately,
Next, I'll have us surrounded. How foolish of them.
I would. I've been trying to convince the Dimries that these times to take action. I've tried to convince Lord Malvin and Lord Reminal as well that it is time.
How much would it cost?
So while this
You
is
wish
happening,
to
Raleigh's gonna
hire
make.
us? Whoa.
Hire anybody.
This-
If he wants
this
to
is
come,
a-
he'll come of his own
Nope.
honor.
How much would it cost?
Oh, these guys are mercenaries.
Yeah,
straight
I
up.
know these guys. I know their deal. How much would it cost?
To do what exactly?
Well, to liberate the prisoners, and depending on how many orcs and half-orcs are there, liberate Kinemeet. Think about your status as Lord. You wouldn't need to ask for favors. They'd be asking you.
I'm waiting for the moment after the deal struck when Silverwolf turns to Wyndon and says, "Pay the man."
I'm thinking about flipping him a platinum.
Yeah.
Raleigh, meanwhile, has used prestidigitation to make this guy's boots and socks cold. And he's just gonna leave that for a little while.
He does seem to get uncomfortable as he's talking.
He's gonna maintain that. That's just
Moving in the saddle a little uncomfortably. He puts his leg back over and puts it back into the stirrup and gives a little bit of a shiver. He goes, "Well, unfortunately, even with the depleted forces in Kinemeet, I don't have the men to keep Kinemeet, even if we were to somehow miraculously take it. But I like the way you think, and I hate Iusians. I hate orcs. I hate hobgoblins.
You know what? I think you and I this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
I'll tell you what. I will allow you to pay us to create a decent-sized diversion anywhere in Kinemeet. We'll even take you the rest of the way there. How about this? I will ride my men gloriously through the streets of Kinemeet, slaying any orc and Iusian as we pass through. And then we'll just keep going, of course. But we will stop outside the gates or in the area, and we will engage them for a little while before we, go back to where we won't die. Providing you with an ample opportunity to do whatever it is you're planning on doing.
This is, I think, a great plan.
Sure.
I have to say, Lord Calvert, you are the. I'm glad we met. Haven't felt this excited about anything since I've returned to the Bandit Kingdoms.
That's right, name drop.
Yep,
You said
titular
the title. You said the
line. I say if you'll allow us to discuss the particulars for a moment, I think we may have the beginnings of a plan here, though.
All right. Well, before we get into all of that, let's discuss the amount of payment.
Yeah, let's do that.
First and foremost,
It's going to
Jahasi-
require that I have a horse to
God, what
ride
the
all the way there,
what?
because you just took my handler.
All right, Blimpy, come on.
Yes. I mean, the Unstians will really hire anyone. Anyway, so let's see. As you know, Jarhasian mercenaries are not cheap. We are the best, and that's true. Jarhasian mercenaries are used actually widely outside of the Bandit Kingdoms, even. Okay. He goes, "We are the best. You're employing the best of the Jarhasian mercenaries, Lord Calvert himself. We're going to engage forces that are far superior in number than our own.
Right.
And there's a distinct possibility that I will lose a substantial amount of my men in doing so.
All right, how much?
But I will be fighting against Iusians.
Right.
Let's see. 5? No. No. 2 platinum.
Per
2 platinum each?
day?
2
Done.
platinum.
Done. Raleigh sticks his hand out.
I'll give him 10.
No need to tip.
I toss him. I toss him the plan.
He doesn't get the whole money thing very well. Yeah.
Yes, I think my gesture is lost upon him.
I toss him 2
Let
platinum.
me put it in layman's terms. I would help you for free for what you're planning on doing. Whatever it is within Kinemeet, whatever it is to these Iusians that are infesting and defiling my capital of my country, I would have paid you.
Great.
Very well, men. Let's go ahead and now, as you see, they have spare mounts.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, because they're out.
I kind of just want to ride with Calvert. He's my kind of guy.
They're out because basically what this is a long. What do they call that? Long-term, not reconnoiter, but where you go out into the enemy's lands and check on things.
Reconnaissance.
Thank you. That's the word. It's long-range reconnaissance, and so they have each one of these riders has a spare horse. So you guys are, they're not going to ride and then just make you walk. So they'll mount you up and they'll start taking you with them towards Kinemeet.
Excellent. Great. I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
The Yelp reviews are true.
My zombie also requires a horse, or also slow us down.
I don't.
Oh, fuck you!
Just tie him on. We don't have to make him comfortable. We just tie him onto the saddle, and
And actually, when you mention it, Calvert goes, "Do me a favor, get rid of that undead thing. It is quite unsettling to me, and the smell is atrocious.
Yeah.
If things go well enough, you can animate one of the other bodies that will be littering wherever you kill whoever.
I won't have a.
No. That's Hartchuck's best friend. When he was dying, Hartchuck was running away for his life like a coward.
Oh, yeah. That's not my best friend anymore. That's a corpse.
Oh.
Ask him what he did to save him. Ask him all the effort he put into saving his best friend.
Yeah. Ash, can you just maybe let the zombie go? Just because, it's kind of an impediment.
I want to kill it.
Now. What's that?
I don't want to kill it.
It's a zombie. It's dead.
Just let it wander free then, or something.
Look, he has an emotional attachment to the zombie. Can we just get going and kill some Iusians?
It's his emotional support zombie. He needs it.
Well, then just bring its head.
No, I don't need to.
Yeah, the head is the most useless part of a zombie. Even I know that.
Seriously, I just charged you 2 platinum pieces.
Yeah,
and
no.
you're gonna quibble over.
I'll give you how much more to bring the zombie.
I don't want your money. I want the thing to be left behind.
I agree.
Oh, very well. I tell it.
That's
to,
a good man.
Tell it to guard that tree over there and don't let anybody near it.
Oh, so now you're just fucking with it. That seems even meaner than just...
No doubt. You hear from the back. You hear a hard truck.
Now that's just wrong to have my friend's body doing such a thing.
Yes. Okay,
and at the evening, I will lose all control of it, and it'll be free.
There you go.
There it is. To kill and murder as it will.
Free zombie.
Yeah. So true. So true. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just a couple minutes off of 8:30. Why don't we go ahead and we'll take our quick break. And so anybody needs to refresh their beverages or get their snacks, take a little
I'll go pee-pee on the potty.
Yeah, I got to go pee-pee on pie, too. Yeah.
Delightful.
Yes, I know.
So for sharing.
Everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, all the cool kids are doing it.
Great.
Yep.
No more diapers for me.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we'll be back, and then we'll see what the hell's going to happen with Kinemeet, because there's been no plan aside. Let's just go to Kinemeet up to now.
So far,
I know, right?
I think the plan is just is working itself out.
It totally is 100%. 100%.
What could go wrong?
Nothing. What would go wrong in something like this? I don't think anything at all. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, everybody, we'll be back in just a moment. So go ahead and enjoy this soundtrack performed by who? That's right, Adam. So, and then, yes, I know. I take every opportunity to embarrass you. It's so true.
It doesn't embarrass me.
That's what happens.
I'm happy with how it turned out.
You can't escape the bestie sort of embarrassment stuff. That's
cool. You're doing it because you're my best friend.
That's it. All right, guys. We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll see you then.
All right. See you in a bit. And we are back.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for
welcome back.
Yes. Okay.
All right, enough, Cotter.
Yes.
Mr. Carter.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, and thanks for sticking around. This is the second half of the tonight's 22nd episode of Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. And
I think it's been a little bit more than 20 seconds. Right?
Did I say 20 seconds? Oh, 20. Oh,
no, he's just
just
a little joke.
No, I totally missed a joke. It's okay. So anyway,
explain it to you if you want. That usually helps with jokes.
If you want to hear
helps make them funny.
But if you want to hear more of Adam singing, the first cut off of the Tritherian Jesus album is on the Return to the Bandit Kingdoms Facebook page.
It is called A Dog there. Within.
Yeah, you can go there and you can hear that. So, all right. Let's get back into the action. So, Lord Calvert has some of his guys go and get you horses. Everybody gets saddled up and they start moving out. As the progression or the troops start to move, you see they start to split up into some different sections. Two of the guys actually start riding off further into the distance ahead of you at a quicker gait. And then as they're riding off, you do notice like some guys that had been out riding actually come in. So it's there's actually a couple more of them than just the 30 that you had seen. As you guys are riding, Lord Calvert and that one dude that was obviously you can tell he's sort of his right hand man. He starts to he's riding along next to you guys, and as you guys are moving, you're sort of like surrounded, and Lord Calvert's in the middle with you guys, and there's like a group of these other Drahassian mercenaries flanking you on either side, so to speak.
Okay.
So Raul kind of looks around, and he's trying to like think of anything to say to these people who he has nothing in common with, and he finally just kind of settles on one. He looks at the guy nearest him. He's like, "So, you know any good jokes?"
Yeah, man, I got a real good joke. What's the last thing an Iusian sees before he goes to bed?
Oh man, I bet you it's something unexpected.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it?
Sing my sword.
Yeah, no, that's super funny. They always say soldiers super.
Yeah.
Super
Man, that
funny.
gets a laugh. That usually gets a laugh.
That's a good one. Thanks. You mind if I use that? I'm gonna.
Oh, go ahead. Use
it. Thanks, man.
Oh, I just saw the playback of me getting all kinds of hostile towards the camera. That's good stuff.
Gotta love that delay.
I would ask if either Lord Calvert or any of his men are familiar with the current layout of Kinemeet, if they've been there recently or not.
Well, yes, I have. Wait, he's going to be Harchuck again. Hold on a second.
Well, I say.
You want to know about the layout of Kinemeet. And you can notice, too, speaking of Harchuck, he's keeping well away from you guys, like riding on the outskirts.
We don't need him anymore anyway.
Yeah.
We have no interest. We've lost interest in him.
Yeah. Well,
well, not completely, but
I know quite a bit about Kinemeet. But before we get into such details, who are you? I mean, you must have names that you go by. What are your names? Especially you and your loud jacket and your... I could have sworn my feet got cold after you gave me that little speech about...
Oh, that's constant. His feet are still cold. Raleigh's been... and he goes, well, I'm Alice, of course, Mr. Caterpillar. Who are you?
It's Lord Calvert. And did you say Alice?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Alice. Wyndon.
Yep.
And
You may call me Ash.
Ash.
Silverwolf.
Brother Ash, actually. Brother Ash.
Brother Ash, yes.
Cleric of St. Cuthbert.
Yeah.
You just say cleric of St. Cuthbert?
You can drop
the
that
best
story
Freudian
with
slip
me.
ever?
I've been around enough men of the cloth of St. Cuthbert and other men of the cloth to know that you're by no means a brother or cleric of St. Cuthbert. But that is entertaining. Very well. It's good to have met you finally. So, what are you planning to do in Kinemeet?
I mean, as I said, I was kind of hoping to free all of the slaves they have there.
Yep.
Oh, that would be entertaining and quite advantageous. That would really throw the city into an uproar.
Yeah. I mean, that was my broad strokes plan anyway.
You know what would even be a better idea? If you could, I don't know, free the slaves, but at the same time unlock all of the weapon stores that are there.
That's
Yes, armed slaves rebelling against their masters.
That sounds fun.
Like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of the
Fun? That
folks that are
sounds fucking epic.
very well, Alice. It is epic.
Epic.
Unfortunately, most of my brethren that were left behind are no longer there. Probably not even living anymore. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't even mind just burning the whole damn place to the ground, but I lack that sort of firepower. Lord Malvin has some, but he is deemed it not necessary at this time.
I can burn all kinds of stuff. I love burning stuff.
Can you? I thought you said this one here. Wyndon, is it? You're a wizard, correct?
Not a wizard. They keep thinking I'm a wizard. I don't know why.
Now, he's very modest, but he's a tremendous wizard. I think I ate like a jalapeno when I was a baby, or I'm part dragon. I'm not really sure, but I can breathe fire. So, what's up?
Yeah.
Are you hitting on him now?
Well, all right. So,
Because he's mine, I gotta say. We're soulmates, I'm sure.
yes. Okay. He seems slightly uncomfortable at that mention. So you have no plan.
No, the plan is to.
that's
We
what
know
I'm trying to
where
lay out.
we know exactly where the slaves are being kept.
Right.
Our plan was
Yes,
to
in the
free
center
them.
of the town. They've turned it into a great big pen.
Right, so we're gonna free them. And we're
We're
gonna kill any
get
fucking
some,
orcs that get in our way.
We need to observe, get some information.
Oh, no,
and
we
then
don't. We're going
formulate a
in.
plan.
We're opening them up. We're getting them out. We're killing anybody who stands in our way.
Yes,
So they
why squabble with the details of certain things? Paint with such broad strokes. It's very heroic. I love it. I love it. Well, very well. I mean, if that's the case.
Do you know where the weapons cache is? Because we didn't see that when we were in there. Did we?
No,
wouldn't know
unfortunately, I do not. I don't have a working knowledge of Kinemeet anymore since it's been taken over from the by the Iusians.
You know who?
You
I
need
think
somebody who
would know
since then.
My good buddy Hardchuck.
Horseshack.
Or you know who would know? Penholt. If Penholt was alive, and he just glares at Hardchuck. He was my friend, you son of a bitch. You left me to die.
Yes, you did say that man Penholt, excuse me, Hardchuck knew. Bring the half orc over. Bring the half orc over.
Mr. Carter.
And you see one of the guys that's one of the other mercenaries takes the reins of Hardchuck's horse and actually leads them over towards where you guys are riding.
I just sort of like make a move toward him just to see if he flinches.
You like do the flinch?
Yeah.
It's a bully.
He's kind of like leaning in the saddle away from you guys, and he goes,
excellent. You're back. I've been getting really bored with this horse. Could you please pull me some more?
No.
Why don't you just tie the rope to the horse and fly yourself up?
That's not required of me anymore. I've
This is quite the same. He was so good
produced
at
my
it.
credentials and shown them to the Lord Calvert here, and he was saying that I don't have to do such things anymore.
I agree. I just wanted you for your information about the city.
I'm sure that's all you wanted me for. Freed me for no reason aside to be your slave.
Oh, I didn't want you as a slave.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't trust you.
My
We
friend
still
die,
don't.
you bastard.
Where
Stop
is?
squabbling. What do you know about the city? Where are the store of the weapons? Where? There's a warehouse or two where they keep certain accoutrements for fighting off the others. Yes, I know where they're at. I could actually draw you a map.
I'm gonna just take my horse and just ride nice and close to him and say, "You're gonna lead us right to
Lord
them."
Calvert, he's intimidating me.
I just say,
No, there's no reason for that.
yeah, he'll
I
just
have
let
the
him write a
situation
map.
in control.
I don't know why you guys are so hostile to him. He did nothing but help us.
I know why Silverwolf.
I mean, I haven't liked him from the beginning just because I'm a racist.
He's racist. He hates anybody who's orc, has any kind of orc in him. He hates hobgoblins. If you're a humanoid, yeah, he hates all that.
That's not true. I don't hate all humanoids.
Penholt was my dear friend.
I gotta say, I am starting to hate gnomes.
Yeah. And I'm
just lazy, and I saw a good horse.
Chuck, where were you? Where were you when Penholt died?
I was freeing the horses in case we need to make a getaway, sir.
You were
don't
hiding
recall.
underneath one, you piece of shit. Anyway,
Anyway,
are you gonna tell? You're gonna help us with this, whether you like it or not.
Oh, really?
no.
And that's when Lord Calvert goes, enough!
Yeah.
This squabbling like women needs to stop. Now
You're sexist. I'm just racist.
Of course I'm sexist. I live in a medieval time period.
And racist.
Yes. I will provide you with paper and ink. I expect as thorough of a map as you can give us before we reach the you have a day. Great. Of course, anything for you, Lord Calvert. Don't forget, I'm connected to the Ernstian government. I know. As he talks to him in his own voice. He said, I know.
That's a great impression. By the way.
Stop assimilating me, you son of a bitch.
Right? Very well. Take him away and give him paper and pen so that he may produce this map. And so the guy who's got his reins rides off a little away from you guys and like falls behind, goes to essentially what looks like baggage, horses of some sort. Okay. Well, there you go, gentlemen. So this is what I'll do for you. I know of a defile not too far behind Kinemeet. Should be able to get our men there unseen. It's about, I don't know, half hour's ride from Kinemeet itself. From there, we will part our ways. I will give you a head start, allow you to go towards Kinemeet on your own volition before we make our approach and draw the attention.
When we were in Kinemeet, did we notice like what percentage of the population was human that wasn't a slave? Like, were there any?
Yeah, it's like close to zero, dude.
Were there really no free humans wandering around?
Yeah, it was like mostly orcs and half orcs, right?
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Well, there were you saw some half orcs, but for the majority
just
of it,
orcs.
They were all full blood orcs.
I would ask anybody here if
so
they
awesome.
can make themselves look like someone else magically, or like I'll be like, can any of you guys use magic to look like an orc? Or
can you do it for us?
I am not a wizard. I shoot a crossbow.
But I think I might be a changeling or something. But yeah. I can grow gills. I can grow spikes. I can look like you.
can you look like an orc?
Hell yeah! I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be useful. If you could look like an orc, you could be like captured us and bringing us into town as your prisoners, and we could get in that way, and then we could go from there.
Hey, does anybody know what Ayus looks like?
Oh man.
Matter of fact, I do.
Oh,
Would you like me to describe him to you so you can camouflage yourself as him?
It's like, hey,
it could be entertaining.
Dress up like the God Emperor and show up to his minions. Okay.
What could go wrong with something like that? Probably
I would
nothing.
just go in and be really polite, and
as he would
maybe.
be. I mean,
maybe just a regular
just
orc
known for their
half orc.
Being polite and their manners. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Let's just maybe a regular half orc.
Orc.
Ooh, or I could be Penholt. You know.
No.
And
thank you,
guys could
Elodie,
bring
for
me
following
and-
Return to the Bandit Kingdoms here on Twitch.tv.
Thank you very much. Who would you say his name was or her name was?
I want to say Elodie, but I don't know if I got that right.
Well, Elodie. I would say
Elodie.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. We appreciate you for following us.
And we love you. It was correct. I got it right.
You're watching.
So
you're watching.
We got it right. Elodie just said in chat that it's correct.
Oh, yay!
Nice.
Okay, cool.
So forget the second part where I was kind of making fun of it, because we do love you and we do appreciate you watching Return to the Bandit Kingdoms.
This is the tradition. When anyone joins or follows Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, we spend at least 45 seconds just mispronouncing their names several times.
Yeah,
this is the first one I've gotten right.
You're
actually.
not the first. You won't be the last.
Yeah.
So, Raleigh. Orc.
Yes.
Just a regular, run-of-the-mill slaver orc. That's all we need.
But maybe a Gog, or a really, really cool orc.
Oh, and thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime, which is hard for me to say, but Lodi again.
Thank you, Lodi. Appreciate
that.
We wanted someone who could get into the city without drawing attention. Right?
Actually, I got to say, that would be a really cool name for a D&D character.
It would. Elodie? Yeah.
Sounds like
All right,
nice
so what about maybe an orc with a big scar on his face?
Fine,
sure.
fine. Can we just get there?
And then parrot. I can't do that, but how cool would that be?
Parrot. Yeah. Well, don't worry about the parrot.
Didn't you have a bat earlier? Your bat could sit on your shoulder.
I've heard about the bat, if I'm honest, and I've never met him, and it's kind of a sore spot.
Let me ask you a question, Raleigh.
I could just see him being sad and
and it kicks at the dirt, a couple pebbles.
Yeah, it's like a
Probably the fucking love of familiar.
What?
Right?
What is the deal with that jacket? Where did you get that jacket?
Oh my god, this jacket. So, all right. So I was at this party this one time at this Duke's house, and there was so many drunk, rich people. I go and I was gonna be rich. I knew it. I was gonna be rich, but then I see on the wall was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. I didn't know I could feel like that. Every brushstroke, all the vibrant colors, it was pain and chaos, and I could feel all of it, and I knew that I had to have it. So I tried to steal it, and they caught me, and they beat me. Whew! And they threw me out. So I snuck back in, of course, right? Because it's a party. And I tried to steal it again. And they caught me, and they beat me, and they threw me out.
Right.
So this time, I tried to sneak back in, but I was just this bloody mess, so they knew it was me right away. But they didn't catch me. I met this girl. And we got to talking, and she was pretty nice, and it turned out that was her uncle's house. So, long story short, I spent the next 18 months courting her. I married her. Her uncle gave us that painting as a wedding gift. I had it made into this coat, and then I pretended to be dead and ran away.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna do it. I'm doing an inside check reasonable. Here, and I believe it.
Yes, you do.
Because my insight check was very low. It was a 6 for those watching, because I don't have that map up.
And isn't it just the most beautiful coat you've ever seen?
That is the worst.
See, they're mean to everybody. See?
I've ever heard.
No. Did you at least kill the uncle and set him free?
I write off. I don't want to talk to Raleigh anymore.
Please tell me you set him free. What would be the point of all this otherwise?
As you write out, Lord Calvert follows you, Silverwolf, as you go a little bit further away from these guys. No, continue. You ain't got to stop talking just because I interjected something.
That was pretty much it anyway. So proudly, brushing off his coat. And
what was the name of your wife, Raleigh?
Oh, her name was Bridget.
Bridget?
Yep. Bridget Ellerdeer. It might have been Brittany.
Do I hear? Hold on. Can I do a perception check to see if I hear that? Might have been Brittany.
Regalia.
Sure, go ahead. Give a perception check.
Regalia. Regalia Ellerdeer.
Well, that was much better. 19.
Yeah, you heard it.
All right, I make a note of that.
Because
mental note.
Raleigh doesn't talk quiet, dude.
No.
So,
the last name sounds familiar for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I just make a note of that.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Anyway, we're off track. Just an orc leading us in the city. Can you do that?
I can. Sounds gross.
Okay, never mind. Cool.
Oh, that's beautiful. Sounds gross. I love it.
And Wyndon will just kind of drift back and be like, continually lamenting his fate the way he does every day.
Yeah.
Every day since he's met us.
Yep.
Okay, so as Silverwolf goes riding away from the pack, Lord Calvert kind of rides up, he spurs his horse, gets side by side with you. He kind of leans in a little bit, and he's looks back over his shoulder really quick, and he goes, "Really, them? I mean, I can see the fire in you. You have the passion. The Wyndon one's kind of." He seems all right, a little skittish around the edges. But tell me, seriously, what's going on with your lot?
They fight well, and they have incentive to disrupt IUs.
Is what you said earlier true? Well, it was Raleigh that said it about the souls, right?
I wouldn't mention that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought. Is it true about your souls?
It is, although I would be walking this path regardless.
But that doesn't answer my question.
It does.
I deal with lots of people. We deal with the Ernstians. They're constantly sending their emissaries up into Dimmery, and they're constantly, flirting with myself and the other survivors, the remnants of what it was.
Because
the
you're so
glory that is
dreamy.
Jorhas. They're the reason I ask is because they are more inclined to align themselves with some of the other Jorhasians who don't really see things the way that we do, that are
And for those of you watching, we are frozen. Thank you, Skype. If you would like to be a sponsor, we would love to have you. Hold on, I lost you there for a minute, so I was asking Skype if we wanted to be a sponsor since I was bad-mouthing them earlier. So if you could repeat that.
All after incinerators? Let's see who gets that.
I missed that part.
That's from a movie. Oh my God! If nobody gets that, oh, you're not a real geek. All right. Anyway, so did we freeze up, or was it just you?
I think everybody froze up.
I didn't hear Adam, but I heard you.
Yeah, everybody froze up on my end, which is the end that the audience hears.
Essentially, what it is he's asking is, so it's true they took your souls. Who took your souls? Who are you working for, Ernst?
We're working for... God damn it, I gotta look at my notes. It's been a while since anyone's asked me that question. Tobold Gurner.
Tobold Gurner.
Although, truth be told, and I have appreciated your honesty with us, and I will be honest with you, I think Tobold Gurner is a pawn in all of this. However... As far as we know, he is the one that stole our souls and has making us do whatever we can to disrupt Ayuz and his forces and his stronghold over the Bandit kingdoms.
Interesting.
But there's definitely more at play. However, we don't know who else is involved.
So do you think the Countess is actually behind it? Do you think she's sanctioning this?
I don't know. I think that she must, from what I know of Ernst, I would think that she has some knowledge of this, but I don't think she's the one behind it. I could be wrong, but my feeling is, and in the little we've learned in the time that we've been under their hold, I don't think that she is the one pulling the strings.
Well, I have to say this much. As much as I would love to see bloodshed and fire and Kinemeet death to orcs, do you think you and your compatriots would reconsider and come with me back to Dimri? I think you have information that Lord Malvin might be very curious to hear.
I would be happy to discuss whatever with the folks in Dimri. That being said, we have a certain amount of time in which to do our job, forced upon us though it may be. And right now, we are closer to Kinemeet than we are anywhere else. And forgetting about the issue with losing my soul and being forced into doing something again that I would be happy to do on my own, there are prisoners in that city. You know right. better than anybody
right. I don't think
orcs would do.
Well, there's a reason that I do what I do and outride into these areas. It's always a good day when I can interrupt any of the slave transportations between Kinemeet. They usually move out in quite force since we've been foraying around and focusing on it. Very well. We will do as we said. I will take you to the place, and then I will create the diversion. I will kill as many orcs and give you your opportunity to slip into the city.
And I promise you that I will do everything in my power so that no one there has to feel the wrath of what those orcs have done to others within the Bandit kingdoms.
Well, I hate to say this. This is, most of the people in there. Granted, keep in mind, no person should ever have to be whipped or chained up by orcs. Never. But most of the people that are in there now are, take no offense from this, they're common bandits, much like yourself, I'm afraid.
There were men women and children being brought into that city. You can take whatever stand you want. You can do whatever you want. I will not let another woman and child die at the hands of the orcs and Ayus if given the opportunity.
Yes. Well, very well then. Good luck to you. It shall be glorious.
And to you. I look forward to riding into battle.
And then he stops, he turns around, and he rides away from you, and he like goes back to that dude that like originally read that scroll that Harchuk gave him. And he goes back, and they start like whispering back and forth to each other, so forth and so on. All right. Was there anything else that you gentlemen wanted to do upon your ride going back towards this whatever the hell that I called it?
It'd be nice if we could formulate a plan to actually get in the city before.
Well, maybe you should do that, wouldn't it?
I've been trying.
I know, but that would be. It's not the Pressed Ganged Opportunist way.
No, we haven't come up with a plan
While we're
yet.
riding along, I actually pull out Salus's skull. I'm going to cast Speak with Dead.
Ooh.
And I'm going to talk to her.
Awesome.
Gosh, I haven't got to do Salus's voice in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've all been rejoicing.
Everybody sees me pull out her skull, and I begin, doing my thing with it, and then I say, Salus.
None of these guys have
been
fooled by your claims of being a St. Cuthberting. They kind of know that you're, necromantic in your bend. So. Okay, so you cast it. Now is this the one, I just need some clarification on the spell. Isn't it the one where you get so many questions, correct?
Let me just, I got it right here on the roll 20.
Yeah, let's just double check that right quick.
Grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. It must still have a mouth and cannot be undead, and she's not currently undead. The spell fails if the corpse is the target of the spell within the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse 5 questions. Corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the language it knew.
Okay. All right. Very well then.
The corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer.
Yeah, it can basically say what it wants to say.
Yeah.
It just is compelled to reply to you. Is basically what it comes down to.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
First, I'm going to ask
when you cast a spell on it. How does that happen? What happens? Does the eye sockets start to like glow or something like that?
I mean, she's still pretty much intact there, so kind of.
Yeah, it's a rotting and falling apart head, but it's still got it. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of. Those around me probably ride a little bit further away as I.
They were already riding further away from you because you stink like death. You're carrying around body parts, dude. Yeah, they're not close to you. Okay, and when you pull that out, they do move a little bit further away.
But yeah, I just say. Nerul, I wish to speak to this one, your servant, to learn of her fate.
Okay.
And
the
one of them kind of comes half open, and a little bit of a sputter out of the mouth, and lips kind of like get some. Yes. Yes, Salus, we've never really knew each other well, but
no. Although I feel that I might have enjoyed or liked you in life.
I do have some questions. The most burning question, I guess, is what happened? How did you die?
Well, yes, you see, the other faction came to kill me.
And are you really dead?
Unfortunately, yes. Although I feel that you have the ability to bring me back for short durations or bouts, and I don't mind being decomposed if you don't mind.
Yep, creepy.
Not at all. I have much use.
She's still on brand.
Yep.
Yep.
Does anybody else have any questions for Silas while I have her out?
Well, who is running the other faction, or what's the other faction's name, or what do they go by, anything like that?
Now, here's the thing. I would assume the question has to come
Has
from
to be from the caster.
caster of the
I can-
spell. So
I
you can start throwing questions out. Now you
I'm,
go
I'm
north.
throwing those to Ash in hopes he'll
question.
interpret that.
Okay.
Who is the leader of this faction who killed you? Who shall we seek revenge upon?
The false one. Yes, it's not true. He's not the real master. The real master can. Yes, he is not here yet, but he's coming. He's coming. And I'm glad that Silverwolf didn't become a false one too.
Uh-huh.
You're not there, Silverwolf.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm kind of glad I'm not.
Come on, Salas was one of your favorites.
I actually did
Oh,
like Silas.
the false ones are controlled by these rings.
Yes, the many things that are similar to the rings, but yes, things like that. They are imbued with a certain essence of the masters.
I guess the obvious question next is who is the master? Does anybody have anything better?
Is that the question?
No, he's talking to us.
Okay.
Is that your
Not yet.
final answer?
So like you do your Hamlet. It's Hamlet, right? You like kind of
Right.
like move it away. You're not doing your Hamlet
Alas.
for a second.
Yeah.
You move
Poor
it over to
Yorick.
the side,
I
and,
knew
and
him
you bring it back.
originally.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have anything that I can
Alright.
think of that's super helpful.
What specific can you tell us about the master?
The master.
Name would be helpful.
Yes, but where would the fun be in that? Yes. Oh, I know. I will tell you the master's name if you completely animate my body for one evening with you.
Yep, still on brand.
Yeah, no.
It's not worth it.
That is so
Just
sad.
in case you thought you missed Salas.
So true. I will tell you this though. The master, he was the original. All this land all belonged to him long before these Oridians or any of these other invaders came to our lands. He is the original master. He is the original master before the likes of Ayuz.
Excellent. Is that all? That must be it. I'm out of questions.
That's 3. You got 2 more.
I thought I'd asked 5 already. Okay.
Nope. If you don't have to ask all 5, that's completely up to you.
Ooh. Ask her if
She likes wet socks.
Ask who
did
she
she
was.
have any like good stuff hidden in her place? I don't know if I'm gonna go back there, but I might someday.
I
You
would
remember
say,
Wally? He wants to know if you have any good stuff hidden in your place.
Oh yes, I have much good stuff in there. There's shackles and there's several gags and leather.
Why would you ask
So-
that question to her?
So much leather.
I would ask for who.
Okay, you got 1 left.
I would ask who the leader is of the false ones.
Hey, that's good. Who was the leader of the false ones?
There's only one currently left. There would have been two, and if Hardchuck hadn't have cut the finger off of Silverwolf, because he would have been a false master too. Yes. But he doesn't know he's the false master. He thinks he's the real master. But the real master hasn't come home yet. But he will soon when you free him.
Cool.
All right, perfect.
That's about what I thought would get, but it was worth trying.
Yeah.
You got.
Go
That
ahead and
was
fold her
quite a
back
bit.
up and put her back in my backpack.
Yeah, okay.
I'm so fucking glad she's dead. Just saying.
She liked you a lot, Raleigh. She used to go and sit next to you all the time, man. Remember those
I
good old
didn't
days?
mind her other forms so much, but
We don't always like those that like us.
That's true.
Got that in a fortune cookie once.
Really? All right.
No, I'm lying.
So
I
the
did
rank-
get, it's a good thing life's not as serious as it seems to the waiter. That was a real fortune cookie.
Really? That's
Yeah.
badass. I like that. That's good stuff right there. Okay. So essentially what's going to happen here, we're going to speed it up a little bit. It's basically a day of riding before you make it to this Delphuge or whatever the hell it is, the hidden area where Lord Culfort is taking you. Is there anything you guys want to do in that time period?
What does Raleigh's jacket look like?
He's still Raleigh.
Then nothing. I don't want to do anything.
I want to figure out how to get into the city without being killed by a dozen orcs before we make it halfway through the gate.
Well, I thought we already came up with the plan. I'm gonna turn into an orc, and you're gonna be my prisoners, right?
Actually,
Is
you
that
know
where
what?
we landed on that? Because you didn't seem very into it.
I have
Well,
to
I
interject.
mean, I don't want to, but I'm a team player.
I have to interject for 1 second. Even though during the break I did go potty, I gotta go potty again. So you guys talk about that for
I'm
1
gonna-
second. I'll
I'm
be
gonna-
right
As
back.
long as you call it potty.
I'll be right back as well. I'm also going to go potty.
So, okay. So,
And my plan is just to walk in after the these guys come in and slaughter, and just open some doors and let people out, and then kill whoever's in my way. So you guys can take that and finesse it.
Sure. Finesse.
so I will say, Raleigh, okay, you can probably do this right now, right? Can you turn into the orc that you're thinking of?
But I can. I don't know if I want to right now, but when the time comes. But we've got to prepare, because you don't look like a prisoner. You don't. And then he starts getting out his makeup bag, and he starts like putting some dark makeup on your orbital bone, make it look bruised, and he does a little bit of blood down out of your eye. He goes, we're getting better. We're getting better. And the Ash, come, please. You look pristine. That's no good for a prisoner. And so yeah, he just starts doing everybody's makeup.
Okay, that's all well and good, but can you turn into the orc now so we can see what you look like?
I can. I haven't seen an orc in a little while. Where's Hardchuck? Let me get a look at Hardchuck. I need to visualize. I only get one shot at this, you know? Well, that's
You
not
only
true. I
get-
get as many times as I want. But I want the first one to be the good one, you know? The first impressions are important. And let's think. I don't think about the last time we were here. There was that one guy who was such a dick. Do you remember that guy? That
I
fucking
wasn't here.
Almost all of them are. Like, they weren't very nice.
So he's gonna think real hard, and he's gonna try to turn into. There were like two leaders, but last time we dealt with it, and he's gonna try to turn into his recollection of one of them.
Sweet.
Are we anywhere closer? Did I just waste a spell slot?
No, I mean, we're not doing it yet.
Yeah,
but
we
you
can wait
we're
until
not
you
going
get
to
there.
tomorrow, I don't think. I think we're resting
Oh,
tonight.
I got you. Okay.
So-
Because one of those things, like, I have the presence of mind to be like, maybe we should hold off until we're close, but Riley would just be like, oh, you asked me to do it? Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, no, I'm asking. Wyndon kind of knows a bit about how magic works, so he knows
He's a
we're
wizard.
still going to not go today. We're going tomorrow,
Okay.
so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so then, boop. Yeah. In that case, I suppose you probably wouldn't be doing your makeup. I was off on.
Sorry
and if
about
I
that.
could steal a cart a wagon, because I am skilled in driving wagons, and then take a bunch of weapons and.
You know
Ooh,
what?
If we have a Holocaust cloak, I've got an idea.
Speaking of cloaks,
that reference I got.
Yeah.
remember the cloaks?
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of Iusian cloaks. Yeah,
Cloaks.
we can
Yeah.
put those on.
But Raleigh currently has cast Alter Self to look like one of the. Remember, there like last time we were in Kinemeet, there were 2 orcs that we dealt with that seemed to be in charge. One of whom was buying our bullshit, and one of whom was not.
Yeah, they were slavers. They were the guys that were driving in the column of slaves into the city
Right.
when you guys were going there.
So
When Three Toes killed one of them. He shot him through the ear. Remember? Caused
No,
big
that
hubbub.
sounds like something Three Toes would do.
Yeah, I did.
Whichever one Three Toes didn't kill, Raleigh has cast Alter Self on himself to look like that orc,
This
but a little
reviving
bit
one.
beat up. Like
I
he's
think
got
the
a
dead one would be better because that'd be more of a shock.
Yeah.
It would be more
Nice.
cinematic.
Cool.
tougher lie to sell. But
All right.
Totally
because
remember.
how fucking hideous am I, right?
Yeah, I mean, sure, I guess.
I'm sure Silverwolf wants to kill you.
I was just saying, I'd hit you with them all. Yeah.
I'd hit that with them all.
Yeah, dibs on the body.
Great, that's perfect, Raleigh. Thank you. This would be perfect for trying to make us get in a little bit undercover. Awesome. Great.
You're welcome. And now he's Salus.
Cool. Great.
But like Salus in like an evening gown.
Like Pretty
Oh,
Salus
yes,
when
of
she
course.
gussied herself up for us that one time.
Yeah. And that lasts like 5 seconds. He's like, I didn't like that. That was a bad joke. And creeped myself
Made
out.
me feel dirty.
Yep. Need about
Okay, so
14
did you guys
hours.
come up with your grandiose plan?
Give or take. No. No.
We're not all the way yet.
Got about 17% of a plan.
Yeah, that seems about right. So
17%. All right.
we do have those Iusian cloaks, but I don't know if we
Yep.
want to go that route or if we want to go the orc bringing in slaves route here. We only have what, 2? Do we have 2 or 3 of those cloaks? I can't recall.
You had enough for everybody.
Everybody
Yeah,
except
Time.
Ash. But if Raleigh
Right.
is going to be an orc, Ash maybe could use his.
Okay. So we all wear the cloaks, and then Raleigh just is like an orc attending us, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and we kind of just march on into the city. All right.
Or I could
That
be
way-
Krasner, or I could be Winden, you know? Like if there were 2 Windens,
No.
both wearing cloaks, they'd be so
No.
confused they wouldn't
Yeah,
know
don't
what
do
to
that.
think. That'd
Actually,
be a
that's
pot.
true. If you can disguise yourself like that, you could be anyone you want. That's a good point.
Right?
That's true.
I could be
That's very true.
myself, but with my birthmark on the other side.
That might do it.
I think I'm trying to
We'll
remember
take
who
that
we've
one under
met.
advisement.
So we don't. I don't think we want you to be Krasner, but maybe someone else like that, though. I'm trying to think of who we've met, who you could be reasonably.
Who
might.
was that other guy?
Fencer, of course. Or I could be my dad. Hey, fuck you. You guys are stupid.
That sounds about right.
I mean, you could be him because honestly, I don't think most orcs are gonna know who he is.
Oh, right.
So that's actually fine.
Oh, I could be an orc. You know, I'm doing it right now. Look, I'm an orc.
Okay.
And that's it. So every time he mentioned this, he changed into people. So
Right.
like he was Krasner, and then he was his dad, and he was that fat fucking brave for a little while.
Don
think
Octavio,
it-
man.
Don Octavio.
I think an orc is just the easiest way to go in
Yeah,
this situation.
I think orc's the easiest way to go too.
And you
Like,
guys
what kind-
definitely noticed all the Jorhassian mercenaries kind of like move a little bit further away. You guys, as they're riding.
Yeah. I say
Do
yeah.
you
I
want
say okay.
like the strong silent orc, and he like pops into like your big,
Yep.
strong orc? He's
That's
like,
it.
or what about like a henchman orc, and he is like a slighter, leaner build now.
I think strong silent orc is the best way to go here.
Emphasis on the silent part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So no tongue?
Nope. No tongue.
We cloak up.
Or what about this? He does
in
like
any scenario.
So shut.
No, just don't open your mouth. It's
no,
fine.
No. If we cloak up and he looks like an orc, the three of us won't be expected to speak orc, I don't think, which is good because
I can speak orc.
Speak orc and show you. Okay, well I don't.
Yeah.
So.
I don't either.
Great.
That's
well,
why you're
fine.
the strong silent type.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we get in. Do we want to do weapons before slaves or slaves before weapons?
We could split
Kind
the
of hard
party.
to arm slaves if you don't
I
have
say
weapons.
we set all of the slaves free first. Nay rule. We'll wait to embrace
Okay,
them.
so
No, the whole point is to
weapons
save
first.
them, not just free them to
Thought we were
die.
setting them
These
free.
weapons to the
I
slaves.
was behind this. I thought we would. So what do you mean save them?
No doubt.
We're setting them free.
I thought we were going to kill all these people.
Slaves can carry weapons. Weapons can't carry slaves. You go and you set all the weapons free. What are they going to do?
Yep.
Fucking nothing. Right?
No.
Are you going to, one by one, start running swords out?
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's kind of
Totally.
okay. So we're gonna free the people and then open up the weapon cache. Like, come with us, freed people. Here are the weapons, sort of thing.
But be more excitable. Like, get your vengeance, you crazy motherfuckers! Our blood is gonna spill today. Like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or we could try to be quiet about it, but yeah.
Yeah, a nice.
I want to revisit this part. We're
Tell
not
the orc
really going to
with
set them
kindness.
free.
We're not
We're
killing
going-
the slaves. No.
We're not killing the slaves. No.
Where are
But
we
I'm
going
sure
there?
some of the
Orcs you can kill right and left. Half orcs, fine.
Orcs.
Oh.
How many orcs it takes to get you one credit?
That's
So
fair.
weird
But
death
there are
sentence. If it makes you feel any better, I'm sure a lot of slaves are going to die.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
the. Yes.
It's a riot.
All right.
Cool.
So, what the hell's the plan again?
The plan
we're in the
is,
city.
I think, pretty solid.
We're gonna cloak up.
We're setting some people free.
Raleigh's gonna-
I don't understand why.
Raleigh's gonna look like an orc. We're gonna kind of try to just saunter in. Hopefully, no one will really question us.
Okay.
When we get in the city, we're going to try to find the main sort of holding areas for a lot of the slaves, and we're going to try to somehow free them from,
Bash the
capture.
gate open with them all.
And then we're going to try to find the weapon caches, and then open those up for everybody to arm themselves and to do what they will: run away, kill orcs, whatever.
Gotcha.
It's not the most fine-tuned of plans, but it's it's something.
Yeah, but it's your guys' plan, so I'm cool with that.
This is the most planning we've ever done.
No, we planned for the money train. Quite
In
extensively.
any
That's true. The money
campaign
plan was
ever.
that was a solid plan.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
very well. Okay, so basically now you guys finished the day's ride. Day's ride basically puts you where this deluge is, this little depression, dry riverbed thing. And as you got closer to Kinemeet, you notice that the company moved in closer, and that they slowed their pace, and they started to slow their pace more and more, so that there wasn't a bunch of kicking up of dust and dirt as much to give away anything. They make it down into this culvert. That's the word I was looking for. And they start covertly even, yes.
With Lord Calvert.
Culvert, yeah. And so they, once they get there, it's actually starting to night's starting to fall. It's getting dark, and Lord Calvert's all
Lord Calvert went covertly into the culvert. Not lost to me.
Right? I know. Say that 3 times fast, man. Like, I take it. Are you planning on doing this evening, or are we?
No,
Okay.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Orcs have an advantage in the night, right? They can see in the dark, can't they?
Yes, they can.
So
they
can, so can the rest of us, can't we?
No.
No.
I'm like, hella pushed.
I
can't see in the
kind of
dark.
said that to be a dick.
And if we wait till tomorrow, I can. I know we lost my zombie. I don't really want to use this one. It may have more information. I don't want to leave it behind.
Make you a new
Right.
one. A better zombie. An orc zombie.
It's not going to help tomorrow morning.
I don't have all the answers, man.
All right, so Lord Calvert's all like, fine, we're gonna go ahead and bed down. No fires.
Do you happen to have a pile of bones on you guys?
No,
you
nobody
creepy
carries
little man, I do
bones.
not.
Don't ask that
His
question.
feet
whatever
are
you-
still like super cold, by the way.
They are. You notice that he's got like a big wool socks on, sticking out from the tops of his boots.
So as he beds down tonight, his blanket, everything cold.
Gotcha.
I wish I knew this was happening.
So
He wants to dismiss my being cold all the time torture. He's gonna live it.
I don't think he dismissed it. I don't think he paid attention enough to even hear it. I mean,
Okay.
so basically that night, you guys bed down. It's very quiet. Anybody who starts to talk anything up and out of line and whatnot, there's plenty of these Jorhassians around to give you the shh. So
Jorhassians, most strict librarians.
Yep.
right, they've got all the horses down there hobbled up and what have you, and they've got plenty of guys that are switching in and out during the evening, keeping an eye of the surrounding area. Everybody seems very tense and on high alert, being this close to Kinemeet. That night passes.
I would have
And-
taken a watch as well, just even though
Okay.
I know that they're all doing that. But
Gotcha. Okay.
probably midway through the night.
Gotcha.
Actually, before the morning, so like the last watch I would take.
Okay. And so then the morning comes, and when the morning comes, they're all it's before dawn. The Jorhassians are up, getting ready, and loosening their swords and their sheaths and what have you. Lord Calvert comes over. I'm
Bless
sorry.
you.
I think I'm coming down with something.
Oh, if you fucking, I will crush your skull.
I probably
If you-
have a cure for that.
You can't call in sick.
You stay away from me. I'll be fine. I'm a Jorhassian. Don't worry about it. We will give you. How much time do you need before you want to make this?
Maybe give us like a. What do you think, guys? How long? You said it's about a half-hour ride into the city.
Yeah, roughly.
Maybe give us like what, 45 minutes then?
Sure.
That-
Hour.
Hour?
I'd go 45 minutes. I want to get in
45
there
minutes.
while
Yeah.
this is happening still.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
yeah,
I mean,
so
I'd
like-
even do 35, but
Well, yeah. So it's 45 minutes, and then they have to make a half hour's ride. So they're really
yeah. So they'll be 15 minutes ahead of us the whole time.
Yeah. Which I think is a decent start.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, very well. Please, get.
All right. What the fuck are you allergic to?
I'm coming down with something. I've had this chill I haven't been able to shake.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Go ahead and.
I wish I knew what was happening.
I know, right?
Raleigh's cracking up.
Get prepared and be on your way.
Are you sure you're still gonna come, Calvert? You're not getting cold feet, are you?
Rim shot.
Oh, that was great. That was really good.
And he gets like super serious and he goes, "Are you questioning me?"
we're all good.
Very well.
So,
no one questions the Jarhassian.
of course.
I got a big case of foot and mouth right now, I guess.
Well, as this is all going on, I actually pull out my strip of cloth and I kind of walk along and I touch it to each of my 3 companions and I say, Nerul will bolster you in this upcoming battle, and you get your 5 temporary hit points.
Oh, nice.
Blessed be Nerul. Thanks for the hit points, buddy.
Well done. All right. Well, cool. So you guys head off. You start heading. Essentially, this is on the northern side of Kinemeet.
I can't remember. Are we prisoners, or are you guys? We're doing the cloaks. I don't remember.
We're doing the cloaks. You're an orc.
You're still, yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
Silent orc.
There
Orc,
is
what does
a
not
road that's not far from here. It's the road that leads from out of Kinemeet into going up towards Rookroost. So essentially that road, because basically you guys would be like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see my ping?
I saw it. The audience didn't, but
Oh yeah.
they're imagining it in their mind's eye.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So the road going north out of Kinemeet heads directly towards the Artantami and eventually goes to that bridge that goes across.
Okay.
So you guys can. This culvert is really close to where that road is, so you can go get on that road, make decent time heading towards the city itself. Okay.
And Horchuk, I guess, gave us the map of where this.
Sure, if you asked for it
is.
before you left.
Yeah, I would have
definitely
asked. Yeah, before.
Would have done that.
Yeah, you get it from Hardchuck.
Whatever. I didn't call him Horseshack. Welcome back.
Okay. So, and you guys start heading out.
Mr. Calvert.
You're making your way down the road, going towards the city. You see some smoke coming out of the city, early morning cook fires, what have you. The gates are closed. Kinemeet is a walled city, and there are orcs up along the walls, and they watch you coming, and you guys can see them, and it's like you see a little commotion, some orcs talking amongst themselves. One goes like running away as you're getting closer, and then you see there comes to be, until there's about roughly 10 orcs up there. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly the numbers because they're like looking out through the crenels and then going back behind, and then like, that sort of thing. Do you have a question, Adam?
I do.
Uh-huh.
Weren't we waiting for the raid?
If you were you? Because if you are, we can.
I thought they were going in first.
Beforehand.
Yeah, I thought they were coming through first, and
they're going in to tear ass through that place, and then we're.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go in, and then
that was my understanding. You guys were going in first.
Yeah, and then they were gonna come in.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible
Why would
idea.
we not follow the distraction?
How are they going to breach the walls? Like, if we can sneak in, get it open for them so they can just ride right through. 30 men trying to breach a city's walls, regardless of the defenses, they're going to have a tough time.
Well, he actually said, too, when he was talking to you about that, he said that it would be glorious to ride through the city.
Right, that's what I thought it would be glorious,
and that's what
too.
he said, but then he said, but we would probably just ride around outside and create a commotion.
I thought they were riding through the city, and we were.
No.
All right, okay. If this was the plan, I'll follow the plan. I'm okay.
Raleigh's orc, by the way, looks really beat up, and he's kind of leaning on either Silver Wolf or Wyndon or somebody. Just kind of.
Are we not riding horses?
Staggering when the time comes.
I thought we were definitely on horses.
Yeah, we're still riding on horses.
Oh, horses. That's right. We have horses. Yeah, so he's just kind of like
the orc can run along beside us as his.
So true. Okay, yeah. So you guys are going in prior to the
Right.
because it's timed and you timed
I
it
guess
for
so. I thought,
being able to
I
get
was
there.
timing it the reverse, but yeah, I guess we'll stick with the same time frame. But
Well,
Alright.
to my understanding was you wanted the distraction to happen when you were in, so it would
Yeah.
be easier to spring people.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Yeah.
yeah, all right. I thought they were going through and killing people, and we were just going to follow up and free everybody else. But if that can't happen, then I'm fine with this plan. Whatever the plan was, I'm fine with. I just want to kill some orcs and free
Well, let's
some
put it
people.
this way. Let's be honest. Wyndon put the plan together. So, Wyndon, what is the plan again? It's you guys are going in first, and then
Yeah, we're gonna go in first, and then try to find the best case is we can get them in the city, but
Right.
if not, then while they're distracting it, then we spring our actual plan.
right. Okay. Yeah,
Running
no,
inside.
yeah, there it is. Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're going to leave the door
I
unlocked. for
imagine
them.
that's how it really would have gone down too. Like Wyndon would have crafted some half-assed thing using Raleigh as best he could, and they get there, and Silverwolf thought they were totally doing something different. And it's like,
Totally how it should be.
it's like, well, all right, if you say so, Wyndon.
That is, yeah. So what's happening now would be happening in character, yes.
Yes. So okay. So anyway, as I had described it to that point, you guys ride up to the gates, and like one orc is looking down, and he looks down at you guys. And
What is he saying?
he's speaking in orc.
Yeah, I speak orc. What is he saying?
Oh, he says, "Who are you? What do you want?"
Say, we're Krasner's men. Open the door. In orc.
Krasner's men. Do you have papers?
Can you read? Open the door.
Of course I can read.
Well,
You
open the
see him-
door.
You
and
see
I'll-
him like lean back, and he says something to somebody back there, and then you just catch the tail end of what he says to somebody else. He's like, "Are you sure you can read?" Okay. He looks back and he goes, "We weren't expecting anybody from Krasner. Who are you? What are your names?"
My name is Horchuk.
At least you didn't say it. My name is Oniga. You say Harchuk?
I say Horchuk.
Or
Chuck, and I am Penhurst.
I'm gonna look very bored and say I'm villainous.
Well,
Alright,
that's a
hold
good
on one
name.
second.
I wish I thought of a better name.
Raleigh's maintaining his half unconscious, sort of not answering. Because even he can figure an orc that can't speak Orcish is going to be some problems.
Okay. I mean, you guys wore those cloaks for a reason. You ain't even using them. So anyway,
What are you talking about? We're using them.
Using them.
It's part of the disguise.
yeah.
Krasner's men.
Well, they can't see your backs when you ride up to them.
Oh well,
All right.
we could like look at
I
our
got my
clothes.
papers right
that would be
here.
different if
and
you were to turn
gloriously
around
show our
and just
back.
like point at your back.
But I mean, we're not like if I were an Iusian cleric or whatever the fuck we got these cloaks from, I'm not gonna turn my back to say, "Oh, you got to look at my back because you got to see
That's
this." I'm
true.
gonna say, "Open
Yeah,
the
you
fucking
arrogant,
door."
so get out.
Yeah, totally.
Excuse me, open this door if you enjoy breathing much longer.
So the basically
That's what an Iusian cleric would say.
one of the guys looks, you know, that guy that was talking to you goes back and you hear like there's a bunch of whispering and different stuff and whatnot amongst the guys, and then there's a little bit of silence for a second, and then an outburst of quick laughter, and then all of the orcs disappear from the wall, and then like a minute later, the gate starts to get pulled open, and you see on the inside there's 10 orcs. There's the one that was talking to you, and then whatever orcs are pulling the doors apart, and he goes, that one that was talking comes walking up and he goes, you say you're from Krasner. Why Krasner send men here? This is the Bloodfists tribes area. What we need Krasner men for?
To collect our shipment,
Do
of
you-
course.
Do you understand him?
Your shipment of what?
Is he speaking in common or orc?
He's speaking in Orc.
But I have no idea
so
what he's
you wouldn't.
babbling.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know. Yeah, that's true. Sorry.
There was an ambush. Raleigh pipes up.
You don't speak Orc either.
I'm speaking common. Oh, he's speaking to you in Orc.
He's speaking
Yeah, I'm
Orc.
sorry. Yeah, he's speaking. Yeah.
I say our mission is of no concern. We've been traveling a long time. We require a place to rest. In Orcish.
I start babbling something in Infernal just because it sounds scary.
I have a question, Will. Sorry. Have we seen, would Iusian clerics or whatever these guys were representing, would they carry weapons on them or no?
Yes.
Okay, great.
The one thing that you guys are forgetting is that the Iusians are all extremely chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So each faction, each thing, it's like that was even, and I think some stuff was talked about that when you guys were first came there, about how the orcs there have basically they're doing really their own kind of their own thing since they've been just transplanted there. Look at Aris up in Rookroost, the guy who runs it up there. This is a chaotic, evil empire. Remember the hobgoblins and how they really, really just hated the guys that came out of Rookroost, because the hobgoblins are very, militaristic and orderly and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's not uncommon for this sort of back and forth to occur. Anybody could roll up and say, for example, the orcs could be there. You could be claiming to be Iusian priests, and you're like, oh, whatever, fuck you, blah blah blah. And then one of the Iusian priests would just kill an orc, and they go, well, maybe you are.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was gonna start getting threatening if they weren't let us in. So okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's like this sort of back and forth is very commonplace. Okay.
Oh, cool.
The only time that you would get respect, like straight up right out of the gate respect from anybody, if they knew for a fact who you were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like if they didn't know you were, if somebody doesn't know who Krasner is, you say you're Krasner all you want, they're going to try and stick you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but if we stick them first.
Right. So So I mean, this is really not anything totally out of character or normal. So, and you guys would kind of have an idea of that, because this is, like I said, these are chaotic, evil, for essentially, for one of the only good thing that alignments really are good for anymore would be this. So, anyway, so he goes, all right, calm down. We'll take you to the captain's quarters, and then you can speak to him, and you can tell him why Krasner sends men to Bloodfist territory. God, close the doors. And it's, come on, follow me. And so he just starts walking with that complement of orcs splitting into two. So him and 5 others, so there's 6 orcs, and they're like walking ahead of you, and that orc occasionally looking over his shoulder, just making sure that you guys are following him as he goes. They close the door, and the rest of those orcs go and up and are manning the walls. Again, Kinemeet looks a lot like it did when you guys were here last time. It's a town that used to be a nice place, but is now had been sieged, has been attacked. There's burnt out buildings. There's trash all in the streets. It looks as if an orc tribe has occupied it. There are even a couple of just dead bodies laying in a couple of different places. Okay. They march you through this.
I do have a question. Since it's so early in the morning, is it relatively quiet? Like, I mean,
yes.
So I'm gonna look at Silverwolf and Ash and be like, kind of look at them, like waggling my eyebrows, like hoping they know I'm like should we like I might surreptitiously like do this, like
as if you're
You're
scratching
trying
your
to
neck.
give them. Should we kill these guys? Look.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
pretty much.
Okay, that's fine. You can give him that look, but
Yeah.
what I want is I want you guys to give me insight checks to see if you can decipher what the hell he's trying to talk about. Let's see what we get here. Dun, dun,
13.
dun. Oh yeah, Ash totally knows because Ash has already been wanting to kill him anyway. You could have been saying, "Hey, let's make these guys our friends," and Ash would have been like, "Yeah, we can kill them." Even Raleigh, I was just hitting the DC at 10, so it's good. You guys all pretty much gather what he's trying to portray to you. It's like, should we kill these guys?
How many are there?
And then I say, let the harvest begin.
How many are there?
As I grow fangs, my eyes go red, and I cast Vampiric Touch.
Okay.
Waste not, want not.
As we were riding into, I would have, or actually, I guess it would be the first thing I'd do after I notice Wyndon do that is I'd place a shield on Silverwolf and this kind of like positive aura of, I don't know, you'll find out when you get hit.
Okay, so you guys are getting ready to just basically jump these dudes then?
Yeah, how many
if
are
we
there?
can take them out without alerting the whole city, then we should.
Okay, and I assume that you would go far enough away from the gates.
Yes, obviously, yes. Yeah. It's like that's why I'm like, okay, do we have enough space between the gates and where, before it gets busy again?
Well, they're starting to head, and you get the general idea that what they're going to is they're taking you towards the keep.
Right.
Mhm.
So if we're gonna do it, we need to do it soon. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is actually where we will leave off for
Good place to stop.
this adventure, this session. Right. So when we pick up next Tuesday, we'll be rolling for Inish and we'll be starting up. And this is actually because the way you guys timed it, the Jorhashians should be right around now anyway, getting ready to start up some noise too.
Which will distract the guards on the wall.
Right.
Exactly. So, hey, everybody, I want to say thank you for tuning in to the 22nd episode of Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. This is the first time where we've really gone out and done streaming onto some of the other Facebook
We're on
places.
Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on
That's
Twitch, we're all over the place nowadays.
All over the place.
Plus, you can find past episodes not just on YouTube and Twitch, but also anywhere you listen to podcasts. Unless it's some like really weird podcast shit that no one ever heard of, then we're probably not there. But any of the big ones, you'll be able to hear us.
So true. So true.
Like Apple.
Apple,
Actually, we're on
Google
Apple.
Play,
Yep.
or whatever it is. And then other ones. SoundCloud, I think, is one.
Yep.
No,
Spotify.
not SoundCloud. Spotify. That's what it was. Spotify.
Yep.
SoundCloud, you can hear the first track of the Tritherian Jesus album.
There you go.
Much anticipated.
So I got to ask though. So like 6.5 pounds of Salus.
Oh, I've got an idea for that. Actually, it's going to be awesome.
Is that more of a rocking sound, or I don't know. Is that more like the Cure sort of deal?
We'll find out.
It's gonna be it's a
From a
little
Pink Floyd type deal.
you're gonna find out. But that's actually the next one I'm working on.
All right. Excellent.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Cool. Hey, thanks everybody for watching this episode. We'll be coming at you again very soon with next Tuesday with the next episode. And Juris, this Friday?
Yeah, we're back.
Ravana is back.
Ravana is back. There was a short hiatus for Ravana. Why don't you go ahead and just say real quick a little something about it there, Juris, just to give a little plug.
So Ravana is a country that is just kind of fallen to some corruption and hard times, and right now our band of valiant commuters, not heroes, just travelers, just trying to live their lives. We're gonna see what befalls them, glory or death. I feel like it's gonna be one of the two.
I'm hoping for
Maybe
glory.
Right, and that is another D&D stream that you can watch on the Wicked Studios LLC Twitch channel. The episodes of that are as well. Back episodes are on YouTube.
YouTube.com/Mr. Atom PL, which you can see down in the little box below Will DM here, and
there it is
on the stream.
Tune in and check out, see how things turned out down at the Talamir Inn.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I've started a new weekly where I just blab about stuff, role playing associated, and still looking for a name. Although I'm starting the roll down is really no. So the roll down is really sticking with me. So I'm going to go with that.
Roll. Come on.
I did the first test episode of that. Where I didn't, I was on mute for 10 minutes talking.
It may have been more than 10 minutes, to be fair.
This is what happens when Adam doesn't produce. So, anyways, but there'll be more of that coming, and then just more stuff down the road. So,
now, what day are you gonna do that?
I don't know.
I
haven't really. I don't know. I really haven't decided on that yet. Basically, however, though, if you were to go and subscribe to our Twitch channel,
like our friend Elodie did.
Yeah, exactly. Super stud or studette that they are. You would get notifications when anything new would be put on.
But
the
some
channel.
people like to plan.
That's true. You know what? I'll pin that down a little bit more because I'm not 100%
Maybe we'll
sure.
talk about it next episode.
Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking a little bit later in the week, but I'm not 100% because I'm still leaving Wednesday open for my next stream. But then again, I guess, you know what? This is something, Adam, we need to talk about some scheduling stuff.
Well, we have no secrets for the people watching.
Yeah. We don't. Well, the thing it is we've got some upcoming streams, so we need to figure out when we want to drop that stuff.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of upcoming activity here on Wicked Studios LLC.
Yes.
Exciting time to be alive.
That's
It
right.
is.
Exactly. So, anyways, hey, again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Deuces.
Yeah, man.
See y'all then.
Oh, I'm not ready to end, so just keep vamping here for a moment.
Not a problem.
And we're out.